it's so crazy people still stuck in Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks. Let's get into it, man. Welcome to episode 17 on the rocks. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Excited because my little man is just, he just did his performance. I just coming fresh from the auditorium at the school. Little man recited every word. It's so funny watching third graders perform. Like, they stupid at the house and then they nervous in front of everybody else. He's dancing like this. I'm like, dog, you know you my son. Let loose. And it was just good to see him come out his shell a little bit. It was fun.
You were nervous as hell, weren't you?
Hell yeah. I was like, dog, represent me, dog. You like a mess up there. 2 left feet. How you going to get touchdowns every game and can't dance? What you got over here? Oh.
So I'm going to go before him today because I want to go off of that story. So. But no, it's funny. Yeah, excuse you. You move out the way. But no, because I was looking at something on IG and that's like having the 3rd and 4th graders practice their smile at home. And they're like, you know, mom's like, how are you going to smile for the picture? How are you going to smile for the picture?
True.
And they're like, beautiful smile. Then they show them the real picture. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, they get nervous. It's the first time doing it. You know
hey, Hatchette found him a soccer mom.
Oh, he already on it.
Showing them some stuff. Look. Showing them some new stuff. Look.
Y'all already at it.
Thinking about getting them.
It's just intros. All we doing is intros.
Man,
I gotta come up with like a name too, cause that dude, you know, I gotta come up with like shit. You know what I'm
what
saying?
What did you do this morning? You DPG.
DP, you know what I'm saying? But Donald Penn, man. What's up, baby? Let's get it going.
All right. You ain't gonna tell everybody about your domino struggles you just had?
Oh man, yeah. Today my daughter's birthday is Monday, but today is the last day of her spring break, so I celebrate every year at lunch with pizza and cupcakes. So.
During spring break?
No, today's the last day. So
okay.
I'm doing it before because her birthday's on spring break, but I do it every year. But I was just on the phone for 10 minutes trying to get people at
10
Domino's.
minutes? 10 minutes? Oh my God.
Could have been 30.
Look at this bougie ass.
If somebody didn't bring food, you would have been on my head.
That's real. That's real.
So that exactly. So
and
don't
speaking
do that
of that
now.
guy, hey, Carver Wright, our best friend today.
It's the real chef. He feeds us.
Oh yeah. What's up, baby?
Hey, Carver Wright, Chick-fil-A enthusiast, friend of the show. Happy to be here.
Hey, he brought biscuits.
Appreciate it.
Hash browns, some chicken minis.
Yes.
All right, let's see. The show gonna be so much better today because they ain't hungry, you know.
There it is.
Hey, man.
Either that or it's gonna be. I know. I just like him up. Hey, give him his flex though. He owns a CHICK-FIL-A franchise.
Chick-fil-A franchise out in Woodland Hills, California.
Nice.
Yeah, let him know.
Which one?
Where's the corner of Winnetka and Ventura, right across the street from Taft High School.
Oh, that's you.
Say it when Hatch isn't talking.
Thank you. Shut up, Hatch. Where's it at?
It's on the corner of Winnetka and Ventura, right across the street from Taft High School.
That's
out here in Woodland Hills, California.
Man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start driving a little bit further, man, to come support you when the kids want it, man.
I appreciate
that, I didn't even know that, man. No, I'm serious.
Hey, I promise you it won't take 10 minutes to get that order in for you. I will make
sure
we get you right.
I'm gonna be name dropping too. I'm gonna be name dropping there. Hey, the kids want to shake too.
Hey, dude, I send people there all the time. They're secret shoppers.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, at first he was scared to market it. You know what I'm saying? That's a black people problem. I don't want nobody to pull up. Yes, you do.
Yes,
we need to pull up.
We want everybody to pull up.
Where the biscuits at?
The type of pull up is
And that biscuit was delicious. I had never had it before.
Pause that, B.
It was fire.
Your old ass ain't never had a biscuit, boy. Stop. Old southern looking ass. He just looked like a southern biscuit.
Yeah, I was like, I know he ain't about to finish that sentence.
And he did.
Who we got?
I was getting ready to compliment you, Hatch, on your Eastside Golf.
I don't need your compliment.
That's
my
real.
boy.
Yeah, we
the
starting to know
brothers.
we on camera now. Look at these mugs.
Right.
Marathon,
Right.
Eastside Golf.
That shit all
Okay.
faded. It's old as hell.
Who we got here? Right here, Ben Davis.
P, Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Southside.
That was good.
That's
all I got today.
He just got through
all I
talking
got
for
today.
5 minutes.
Do we have a tip cup? Because we got to put $1 every time we hear Southside Chicago. Just like every time I say Compton. So we got to put money in there.
Everybody's got to have a word.
He got his word.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to timestamp this. This is the longest intro ever. I know people are like, God dang. Who we got?
Just Rec League Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
New York City's finest.
I take that. Okay. This kid's a blood. Let me see.
All right, Terry Jingles, filmmaking extraordinaire. And y'all know I got a flair for the dramatics, so I brought something for everybody.
The fabulous dramatic.
We got the flag.
He made this.
We got the flag.
He made a flag.
I got a whole box of the flags.
Let me get one. Let me get one. Let me get a flag.
Oh, you got a box? Oh, hell yeah.
Keep on going.
So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Hey, hold on, though. Just like we can't let the next person who's going to speak Daz off the hook because he's a chef who ain't brought no food. Carver did it.
Flag.
I know.
Huh? Anybody remember who's supposed to bring the flags?
I wasn't here.
He was supposed to bring the flags.
Teamwork.
There we go. We in sync.
Yo, it's your boy Chef Daz.
You ain't no chef, man.
Yeah.
Hey, he got these flags off set.
Let's get it. Friend of the show.
We in this thing.
Let's go.
Looking like a little T.I.
John
over
Bodino
there.
representing Midwest.
Hey, John, why you so far
we go.
away, man? Get a look like.
We gotta let John do his intro again. We
No,
were
that's
clowning.
hey, I'm cool. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. Everyone else used up the time.
Hey,
All right,
John hit you
here
with
we
that
go.
senator voice. Hey.
Here we go. Here we go. I said we're ready.
Hey, you better chill.
I said we're ready.
You're not in my jurisdiction.
I appreciate you, Hatch.
All right, let's get into the topics, man. We love y'all life and we love how we're living. Let's get into Shadeur Sanders and his draft stock is dropping, reportedly by Ryan Clark, my guy, because of his skin color. Now, when you guys hear this, I just want to know your initial thoughts, and let's just take it around the world. Why is Shadeur's draft stock dropping, and is it because of
5 times fast.
Yeah, I can't say none of that. Too many S's. And what's the easy? Let's do it.
Man, you've been skipping me all day.
Skip you again.
Go ahead, Hatch.
No,
Somebody go.
It's not dropping, right? Just because somebody said he was supposed to be 1 or 2 6 months ago, and now he's 5 or 15, doesn't mean it's dropping. He's going to get drafted exactly where he's supposed to get drafted. Number 1. Number 2, the black quarterback conversation, that stuff is done. It's over.
It's dead?
It's dead because there's no general manager that's saying I'm not going to draft a quarterback because he's black. Because he will get fired for that now.
But can he think that and not say that? Is
He
that
can
where
think
Ryan
it.
Clark is trying to land?
I don't think. I think just Ryan Clark is trying to land as far as he's supporting Shadeur in this image of, yes, this is all bad because he's dropping. He's not dropping. It's just trying to create the story. He's trying to support this Sports Center story on, hey, everybody, look at this draft, right? Shadeur dropped because he's black. It's that whole narrative of just putting it out there because that's what they want us to think. But he's not going to drop. He's going to go to the exact team
Don't
that he
throw
wants
the
to
flag.
get.
Yeah, you
What
just
gonna
got
throw
it.
the flag
God
on,
damn.
man?
Because you said.
Yeah,
I was agreeing with you. I was agreeing with you for a while.
Wait.
For a while there till you said he's not dropping,
He's not dropping.
but going 1 or 2 to 15.
No. I said no.
That's
I
a
said
big drop in the first round.
that's
Especially money-wise.
the definition of drop. There's nobody
That's what you just said.
that's your definition.
mean, that's 12,
he was
15.
never saying. Nobody ever said that he's for sure going 1 or 2. My point is he's not going 1 or 2. Right? He's going to go where he's supposed to go. Just because somebody in the media says, oh, he's the first pick in the draft. Now he says we're going 5, so everybody says, well, now he's dropping. But who said he was supposed to go first?
Thank you. What was definitive in the first place? Mel Kiper says
Thank
you're
you.
going number 1, then Mel Kiper says you're 20. Who in the hell? It's all just
Thank you.
made up right
all I
there.
got
It's
you.
all an industry just to get you,
And you know what I'm
paying
thinking
attention.
too? You know what I'm thinking? If anything that's affecting him is earlier with the little videos of him and Cam talking all that shit, saying, hey, they're not talking to you, they want me. All that kind of stuff might have made the GMs look at him a little different. You know, with that stuff being a little overly too cocky. You know,
Well, I gotta
with
push
those
back because
videos,
there's
and
2
then-
people in that
They
video.
do that all the time.
Yeah, I got you.
They not dropping Cam Ward,
But
and he black.
Cam
and
wasn't. Cam ain't the way Cam's coming and stuff I'm hearing. He's not as cocky and sounding off as Shadeur is.
From what you're hearing.
From what I'm hearing.
So
yes.
what if I could show you a clip?
You can,
where
definitely.
you hear the opposite because they're both cocky or brash. They're the exact same kid. They've
Confident.
been working out with each other for years now. They're best of buddies. This is what they do. If somebody would take us on camera, they would say the same thing. Oh, them niggas. Blah, blah,
I
blah.
don't fuck with you. I'm not messing with you. That's my nigga, dog. I'm just
No,
playing.
no,
I'm
I really
just
don't
playing.
mess
This
with
my
you neither,
dog.
nigga. You know what I'm saying?
This my dog. I'm just messing with
But
you.
if
That's my
somebody
dog.
gets our 10-second clip of what we talked about for 3 hours, of course, it's going to come across as a different way.
But if anything, I would say if anything they were going to drop, I would say it was because of that. But I really think that it was just a little dead for Ryan, and he needed something to talk about because I really think this was really kind of like some clickbait because as many black quarterbacks have been successful in this league over the last couple of years, you know,
and no one knows that better than Ryan Clark.
Exactly.
Look, this year, potentially #1 overall pick, Cam Ward. Last year, the first 2 picks black. Year before, the first 2 picks black. We had even Michael Penix get drafted #8
to the Falcons
when they had a white $100 million quarterback that they just brought in, and they was like, nah, we good on that. We know what the future is. So when you say it's dead, I'm looking at it like it's dead too, but somebody else doesn't think it is.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think the narrative is changing, and like Hatch said, you'll lose your job over that shit now.
Yes,
because you can't miss out on the talent. The talent is irrefutable now.
You can still think it though and not act on it. So not saying that they're not thinking it. I don't know if it's necessarily dead or not, but people up in higher management can think things behind closed doors, not necessarily say it in the public, but actually act on it.
Okay, we're going to make you act on your words and stop saying not necessarily. So do you think it's dead? Do you think it's gone? Or do you think it's still active and alive? The whole black quarterback, I look at him differently. You think so? You got evidence of that?
No evidence, but I mean, at the end of the day, we've seen what black quarterbacks are doing. We've seen them performing. The Shadeur Sanders thing, I do think he's dropping because of some of the things he's saying on camera, some of the things that he said at the combine, and I do think that's playing a part in his draft stock.
What about poker? You don't think some teams are bluffing? What if he ends up being 3? What if he ends up being 7? First of all, this is what happened to me when I was getting drafted. I literally went from undrafted on the list to first rounder as high as 15. And I remember the New York Times put it out. Marcellus Wiley, 15 to whoever was drafted in. And I swore to myself, do not believe this. Do not, because just a month or 2 ago, you weren't even on the damn list. I ended up going second round 52. But the point being, you could say drop. He dropped from first round 15 pick, and I'm like, I ain't dropped shit. I picked it up. Now I picked it up at number 52. And that's, I mean, I know Shadeur is coming from much higher places, but the mindset has to be the same. Who's to tell you were supposed to be something?
I watched the documentary on Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if y'all seen that.
He dropped.
He dropped. Right. He sat there and he dropped. So that's the same concept. In his brain, he dropped. He damn near didn't even want to get drafted at the end. He was sitting there all distraught. So in their brain, that was a drop.
Yeah. No, and again, watching the documentary now has us as people who watched it and watched Sports Center, we believe that that's a thing. It's not a thing, right? If Shadeur goes 15 and he goes to the perfect scenario, do you think he's I dropped? No, he went to the perfect scenario. A-Rod now today thinks he went to the perfect scenario, because if he would have went to the Giants at 2 that year or whatever, his career wouldn't have been the same and blah, blah, blah. So they're not thinking about it. They want the media. Wait a minute, because you didn't get, you can't talk about the draft, because you can't talk about the draft.
Hold on. You can't talk about the draft. A-Rod's the highest earner in NFL history, so he can't be mad.
Man, that's not true.
Huh?
Yeah, that's not true.
Yes, he is.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, they just dropped that too.
No way.
I just saw it a couple days ago. I just saw it a couple days ago.
That's my joke.
I'm adding up the money. I don't see it.
Because I knew what you was trying to do.
I guess, already got, not in contract, huh? But we talking about actual salary?
Contract. All the money made.
All the money. Got a $500 million deal.
He hasn't got it yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he hasn't got it yet.
Salary, not contract. Okay.
Yeah, today he earned the most.
Earned the most. Okay, got you. You're right. But what were you saying, Carver? How you look at it?
The way I look at it is like this. I mean, if you're a GM, like you mentioned earlier, if you're a GM and you're saying I don't want a black quarterback, well, it's going to be hard for you to compete. In this past year's this last playoff. Those last 6 teams, like 5 out of those 6 teams had a black quarterback.
Yeah, who won the Super Bowl? Black quarterback. Who did he play against?
Black quarterback.
I mean, it's like,
so it's kind of like you can't really share that narrative anymore. It's kind of like when integration happened in NCAA, right? There was no white players on Alabama's team. and then they got their behinds kicked. And next thing you know,
no black players on Alabama.
No black players, and it's like next thing you know, they're like one of the blackest teams out here right now.
Yeah,
some of the best players who do the best job recruiting and developing players.
I just think it's a stupid narrative when it changes. If it's real, like in the 70s, you know, we talking about Shaq and
Shaq Harris,
right. My GM in Jacksonville. We talking about that time. Yeah, let's talk it.
It ain't
but when you talking about right now, highest paid players are black, the Super Bowl champion is black, the first pick is black. I'm like, if they still hating on the black quarterback, how are they ever gonna show love?
They're not.
Like, there's no other way.
So
to do it.
If you go check out the award-winning podcast Shadow Ball, we'll talk about this stuff. Obviously, go check it out. Little plug. But again, it's 2025. It's those days of evaluating the 6'4", 240 strong arm quarterback. Those days are gone. We're looking for 6'2" and under, athletic, process, and can move around and spend time in the backfield and make a completion. That's what they're looking for right now.
I just want to get your opinion, Sil. Do you think Shadeur's going to be the first guy in, last guy out?
I don't care if you're first in, last out. I never like that narrative. I don't think that's efficient. I don't think that's effective. I just think that's to fool people who don't know better. Like, who cares what work you're doing as long as it's working? Like, I'm the coach that's like, you do what you need to do to prepare. There are some essentials. There are some minimums. You got to qualify. But my coach always say, do not do extra and don't do less. There's no such thing as 110%. Your ass is lying. You're trying to convince somebody who don't know what 100% looks like. So first in, last out for what? I don't want you babysitting this damn building.
But your position was different, man.
Yeah, your position was different.
No,
you want to, so you're telling me a quarterback doesn't need to know more information than the defensive end?
No, but all you guys are not understanding where I'm coming from.
I
played ball. You're so stupid. I played ball. Y'all so stupid.
Stop crying.
Yeah, as soon as I start talking, he start talking.
Y'all gonna let us like do a show today?
Is
flags back, dog.
Is this
but
good
in all seriousness, like y'all lying to yourselves if you think you smarter because you study longer. You just study longer. Like, you just gave me a time element. Now, if you give me, I'm effective with my time, then that's better.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying when he first gets in. As a quarterback, you got to soak everything up. You need to be putting in everything and learn that offense. And
but hold on, I don't think you understand.
As a quarterback position,
this is what I learned at Columbia. This is what I learned at Columbia with some of the smartest people.
Line up there and rush.
It ain't got nothing to do with position. It about do you get?
No, it's down on the sideline. I mean, X-nut.
But
that's all you looking at. You ain't got to read defenses and shit.
Hold on. Have you ever met a genius?
You was the smartest.
You gonna answer?
He met me. He's met me.
Okay.
He's met me.
Have you ever met a genius?
He's met me.
They looking at you like, okay, keep studying. I don't need that. Now, that is just starting from the top. Shadeur may not be a genius at quarterback. He may be. But the point is, whatever gets you there. Now, if you want to just do production and perception, and I want y'all to think I'm over here doing all this work, we'll be first in, last out. But you ain't got to do that to be the best. You have to be the best. As simple as that. How does he get to being the best? It's not about time.
I think at a quarterback position you do.
But what DP is hitting on is very important, though. And you know why it's important? Because that is how he rallies the troops. He's one of the troops for the quarterback, right?
Right.
So I guess to you, it's important to see that.
I got to make sure my quarterback is knowing inside out. You know, one of the things I've seen quarterbacks that weren't first and last, not even at times, you know, because one thing I saw about DC early in his career was he was in that thing. But once DC? Derek Carr. Okay. Once he started getting it going and stuff.
You say that like everybody knew.
Like everybody
nobody knew.
I'm sorry about that.
Washington
right? DC? And then once he started getting better and stuff, I'm sitting back like, damn, you still coming in this early? Like, you got this, you know? But he was still doing the same thing. I guess it was a routine. But early he needed that to pick up and be the quarterback at that quarterback position because he balled his first 2 years. And a lot of quarterbacks don't do that.
And it sounds like you needed to see him do that.
To validate who he was.
And it sounds like you haven't seen enough success where people didn't do that. And I've seen that.
That's why I'm used to. That's why I'm used to seeing.
Here he comes same thing. It's just the difference. Oh, my bad. I ain't hear you. Go ahead.
No, you go.
So Jaden Daniels is a good example of that. Like, his rookie quarterback had a great year. One of those guys that comes in at 4 o'clock in the morning and does his workout. So when the rest of the team's coming in, he's already had his workout sweating. And that's something that they respect him for, and that's something that they commend him for, and they're more willing to follow him, and it's helping him produce results on the field.
Lies. Let me tell you this. You know why? You know what I mean? Locker rooms that's the mantra. Come in, first in, last out, starting quarterback. Are all starting quarterbacks good?
No.
But they all do that.
I don't know.
Yes.
They all do that.
You're saying no. He's
no.
Well, you guys are you're trying to fill the conversation.
So if they all do it, but they all not successful, then that means that's not just the only way of success.
He's saying what do you do with your time? He's saying it's not the time. He's
digest a book.
No, he's not saying that.
And then doing the VR and being able to practice and get those extra reps that way as well. It's more about like these rookie quarterbacks are getting ready to come in. They're about to have to learn an entire program, like offensive protections, plays, all those things, all the different stunts and having to read defenses. It's different than what they've experienced in college.
He's saying, what do you do with that time is what he's saying.
Yeah,
You're talking
about
the actual what he's doing. He's talking about the physical time because people are getting there at 4 a.m. and sitting in the cold tub for 2 hours and not doing anything.
And they suck.
You see what I'm saying?
I've seen players war paint. Yes, sir. No, sir. Front of the room. All that. First in, last out. Then the ball get kicked off and I knock his ass out. I'm like, dog, what you doing here all day?
How many of them were quarterbacks?
It turned into a tier.
I just told you, listen again. There are 32 starting quarterbacks. Let's just say opening day.
Yeah.
And they all know this is the way I got to do it, first in, last out. So let's just say all 32 do it.
Pretty much.
How many are successful?
Everybody gets paid, Sil. It's a competition.
Were you successful?
Were you
That means
successful
you're
every
doing
single?
something
Were
that-
you successful every single play, Sil?
No, you're
You
not.
done got blocked before, right?
Yes.
They get paid too.
Yes. And
It's
so
a
that's
competition.
guess what?
Save it for the
Then
ring.
you
Save it for the
adjust
ring.
what you're doing in your preparation and approach to get it done, which can include I ain't got to be first in, last out.
I mean, you ain't got to be first in, but if your coach is in there,
So why you bring
your
it up?
quarterback coach? If your quarterback coach is in there a certain time, you need to be in there with the
You guys
quarterback
are-
coach as
So
a
why you bring it up?
quarterback
Do
you think
because you
quarterbacks
need to
can
be in
be
there as a
successful
quarterback
if they can
coach
do it?
with your quarterback coach early, going over the plays and new install, so you know when we in the meetings, you already know you're already ahead of it.
I hate to say this, but it sounds like this is like an
What time was Phillip Rivers
this is
in there?
a reading comprehension intelligence conversation. There are people who don't have to do what you got to do, and you better understand that.
If I go to read something, right, I have to read it 5 or 6 times for me to understand it. Another person might be able to read it once
Just
and
glimpse
get
at it.
everything out of it. So again, you're saying, what are you doing with the time? You guys are talking about it's just time.
It's just time. That's what coaches do. That's how coaches hide. I'm there first in, last out. I'm
they
like,
ain't
Coach,
doing
you
nothing.
ain't doing it. We did the same plays, and then when we need to adjust, you ain't ready because you been sitting here babysitting the walls because your boss needs you to be in that building. But I'm the boss of a football team is all of us. We all chipping in on this. You may be the CEO, but you ain't getting that work done without all of us contributing. So I need you to give me results. You're a baller. The first thing I need you to do is to do it. Now, how you get it done is on you until you can't get it done. Then bring your ass in here first in, last out, so we can at least look like we trying to do it. But I guess Derek Carr's the only example. I
got more examples, but I ain't gonna keep talking.
It's a
man,
perfect
because-
example because
No,
of
you got it.
what he's saying from Derek Carr. Then earlier than that was Jamarcus Russell. That's a perfect example of somebody who wasn't doing what he needed to do, and it showed up the opposite way. He didn't ball.
Johnny Manziel tried to just show up and ball,
but it didn't
he
work.
admitted that shit. It didn't work. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Right.
Michael Vick said he didn't study, but
But we all think
Man,
Michael
he's
Vick
a-
was successful. So if Michael Vick and Johnny Manziel watched the same amount of film, right? But we look at Michael Vick as successful. But I
Because he
also know
was,
that Michael Vick later in his career watched.
So
more
we're
film.
saying
Because
Shadeur
Michael
needs
Vick
to adjust his image, therefore
No.
he needs to check these.
He doesn't need
boxes. Are we
to.
saying that?
No.
What are you saying?
I think Shadeur needs to be Shadeur because he's been how he is from the moment we started seeing him with Jackson State. He's been in front of the camera. He's been the same way. So whoever drafts him, you got to know what
that.
you're getting.
Yeah.
You don't want him to put this facade or change for the media who he is, because that's not what you're gonna get when he's actually in there. And everywhere he's been, he's won. So if you
Won what?
Well, he was in Jackson State.
Won what?
They had a winning
They
record.
won games,
No,
not championship. Just say they won games because they didn't win anything.
I'm saying, right.
That's just games.
What's
like you
that?
said.
I mean, come on, you can win the NFC East too. You
Nah,
But
the swag is a championship.
But what
though.
you're saying is-
that's a chip.
what
Just
you're
'cause you
saying
don't
is-
respect it, don't mean it's not a
No,
championship.
it's not. I don't respect it. If they're college football players, you will walk in the club and you got a SWAC championship, and somebody be like, "Dog, what's that?"
But it's still a championship.
The
for
SWAC
them.
is. But what you're
I
saying
get it.
is,
Like, you
20
can-
years ago, right? He would have had to change his image. 2025, he does not. Again, it's the.
He don't.
If you go check out Shadow Ball podcast, award
my
winning.
God.
If you go check it out, Cam Newton, right when he had his meeting with the NFL team, he had to go put on a suit. Shadeur's not doing that. But 10 years ago, Shadeur would have did that. But he's not doing that today.
But the only pushback I'm going to say I have on that is 20 years ago, he wouldn't have had to do it because his daddy didn't do it.
Thank you.
20 years ago, he would have had to do it.
His daddy didn't do it.
His daddy didn't do it. There's a famous story of his daddy when he went to
Combine?
the
Falcons.
I'm going to tell you. The 49ers. This motherfucker. What is going on this side? Throw all your flags over there. These motherfuckers, you listen. Hey, it's a famous story with him and Jerry Rice going to the Super Bowl. And he's on the 49ers with Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice is first in, last out, regimen, locked in. And this is Super Bowl. We're going to either do everything the same, if not extra of the same, like locking. And then Deion said, yeah, we're going to do the same, which means during these 2 weeks, I'm chilling. I'm partying, I'm hanging, I'm being Deion. That doesn't mean I'm going to ramp it up all of a sudden because this is a bigger game. Like, to win the big games, you do the little things, and the little things are the things I've been doing all this time. So Deion told Jerry, you do you. I do me, which is chilling. And then we both going to show up and ball out.
No. That's not what we're saying. We're talking about getting into the NFL. Deion already being in the NFL, already making millions of dollars. He can do exactly what he want to do.
Did you see Deion on draft day?
About the same.
On draft day.
That's going into
the
Yeah, come on,
Hatch. Listen to me.
Don't do this, Hatch.
That's 24 hours away. You already know where you're getting drafted. Right now, we're 4 months away. 2 years ago, Shadeur's
First
2
of all,
years.
we're only 1 month away. It's in April. Second of all,
since we've been watching him.
You just said, now which one are you? You're the one that said that you don't know where you're going. And then now Deion, before the draft, knows where he's going.
He said on draft day. You know where you're going on draft day.
I'm using draft day as an example, but before draft day, he was still the same
Deion.
way. Deion was the same. He didn't just turn up that way on draft day.
If Shadeur had to go meet with NFL teams, he would not be dressing the same if he was 20 years ago. It don't matter if his dad is who he is.
His dad is the literal example of everything you just are going. Like,
but 20 years ago, general managers are not taking quarterbacks like that. They're not doing it.
At the end of the day, Shadeur's going to be under a microscope. If I'm on a team that Shadeur gets drafted to, I'm going to be sitting there looking like, hey, let me see what this guy's doing. Let me make sure he's putting in the necessary work. Let me make sure he's doing what's right. And I think everybody's going to have a big microscope under him because of his dad and the way he carries himself. They're going to want to see and make sure. And any little slight mistake, no matter if you like it or not, it's going to go back to work ethic. It's going to go back to what he's doing.
Not if he's winning.
But how does that affect you?
It doesn't make you.
Okay, you want any mistake. That's what.
You want to know who Shadeur is? You want to know who Shadeur is today?
I want him to succeed.
Shadeur is the Charlie Ward of 25 years ago.
No.
Yes, he is. Now, the quarterback position from 25 years ago was just not looked at the same. He's the same player. Now it's more acceptable to be 6 foot, right, to be black, and to play that style of football.
Yeah, but the whole thing, you guys are missing the point of the thing. You brought up black, but they also said he has wealthy parents. He already has the wealth. He has 2 parents. So you forget about that. Him bringing up race is for the ignorant, is to pander to the people who care about race to have that conversation.
Right.
It's bullshit. Yep. He had wealth. He has money. He's already a millionaire. So it's like, he's already got it. He doesn't.
Let's
he's
find
just
something
gonna
else we
be
can pick on,
who he
basically.
is. And then you brought up Marcellus about his knowledge. Yeah, that's the most important thing is how quick he can learn. And if he's smart, which we've all seen, he's had the 4.0. He actually has shown his intelligence off the field, on the field. And if he can show that, he can move quicker, faster, learn faster. So where does he put himself? Yes, he's going to show up early because he has to. He's going to leave later because that's what you do. But the core is he's going to excel against everyone else. He's going to be himself because that's what they're going to expect. He's not going to come in and change because that's what's going to cause controversy. And then everyone knows what they're getting. So if he tries to be somebody different, which is what they would do 20 years ago, dress in a suit because I got to be this, what is expected of me, where now it's like, no, your talent is going to show you, your knowledge on and off the field.
What's up, Bucky Brooks in the building?
Preach, Pastor.
We need somebody. Okay. How should we adjust the mics right here? We should bring it over here. We got production handling that. But let me say this. I like what you said there. I'm not a fan of when they use your wealth against you because they're going to pay you if you're doing well. and then you're gonna be wealthy. So then you're trying to say I'm not gonna work the same. Like if I'm driven by money, guess what? You give me more, I'm even more driven.
Yeah, but they're saying he had the coaching and all of this other stuff. So
Yeah,
that's
no, I
because
know.
you have the money.
I think the top layer was race for Ryan Clark. It was arrogance for everyone else, right? Yeah. And then the arrogance conversation made Ryan Clark say, well, look, they're not used to this type of black person with this level of wealth, success, and arrogance, as they call it. So now it must be because he's black. And I think that's totally misguided.
Is Jake Paul black?
Who?
Jake Paul?
No. And he's arrogant as fuck, right?
Yeah, no shit, right?
In a successful
Like,
way. So let me set the table for you,
Yeah.
Bucky. We were just talking about the response to Shadeur Sanders' draft stock dropping, allegedly, just because he's black, his skin color, and questions of him
That's
at
why
that
stock
position.
dropping?
Yeah, that's how we started off
That's what I
with.
said. I don't agree. No.
Where you at with this, Bucky? You agree with Ryan Clark? It's because of the skin color?
I didn't see what Ryan said. I'll just say I know the conversation because the conversation always happens around this time of the year. You always have the anonymous scouts that drop info on how people's interviews or testing scores or whatever. A lot of times it depends on who are the people that are talking to the prospects, because given the perspective, what you perceive to be arrogant, I may perceive to be like, oh, okay, he's just whatever.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on what our environment is or whatever. Now, when it comes to Shadeur or whatever, like Shadeur has been very in your face with his antics and those things. Their dad is like that.
Yeah.
Like, and talking to Coach Prime, like that's kind of how they get down. They have a tremendous amount of confidence and self-belief or whatever. Now, I thought the watch celebration was corny, but that speaks to how they get down and what they do. They're kids. Like, if you grew up in 7-on-7 culture, that's what they do. Like, that's what it is.
Oh, they're going to dab on the first down.
I mean, all the time.
Hey, flip the ball too.
Like all the time. And
Shooting a three like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
Throw that up again a little.
But they would do it to you as the coach.
Oh, I know.
Like everybody is fair game. And I think like we kind of have to understand that. As the player, I would say, look, people are comparing him to Cam Ward. He doesn't have the same tools that Cam Ward has. Cam Ward has a stronger arm and is more athletic. Shadeur is more of the traditional pocket passer that has played in the league for the last 50 years. His IQ, his anticipation, all of that stuff is what it is. The key will be, it has to be the right fit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, do I want to coach that? Do I want to coach that personality? Because everything is about relationships or whatever. And so if it's perceived that he came off arrogant, smug, or whatever they're saying, yeah, it can make you feel a type of way. But know this, them coaches ain't making the pick.
Right. It's somebody
Like,
up top.
It's coming up top.
Yeah.
Like this is a business decision from up top. And so much like the conversation we had with Bronny and all them jerseys that he sold, it comes from up top.
So give me this, add it to your response. How much from up top you think is going to be influenced by his skin color in 2025? That's what Ryan Clark's point was. It could be questions about him based on race.
Like what's funny is like if you look, I mean like the black quarterback is like the thing. Like I mean that's what it is. Like in the Final Four, it was 3 out of 4 were black.
Yeah.
It's 5 out of 6 were black. I mean like that's
why you got to come on time next time. We already said this.
Well, I mean, I have another gig.
Everything else
I have another gig. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get here.
I got a job. Hey, let's help him out. So the highest paid. All right, the top 2 picks the last 3 drafts.
I don't think that's an issue anymore.
It's not a thing.
Like we have innuendo, but it's not. I don't think it's a thing anymore. So many guys are playing
well
beyond.
Okay, so you're smart, Ryan Clark, smart. Why? You're in front of the camera, and this comes at you, arrogant, Shadeur Sanders, potential draft stock falling, and you go race. What explains that? Because I must be just detached, because I look at real evidence in real time, and I'm like, how do you even say that?
I would say the only nuance to the situation is the quarterbacks are black, the people picking the quarterbacks are not. And so the conversation could be perceived to be one way just on perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so without saying like it's racist, maybe it's racial. It may not even be racial. It may just be perspective on who we're around. And so something that may be a little much to me, you may be like, yeah, I grew up with everyone that's like that. He's always on that extra. So that's probably what it is. It's who's in the room doing the interview more so than him. Because if he's talking, I'd be like, man, like, you know, like that's just, it's just a different take. So I don't think it's like we're racist where we don't do the black quarterback.
And there's another nuance to that as far as 32 offensive coordinators. Trust me, there's 20 that will not know how to handle Shadeur. They won't like the confidence, or they might like it, but they don't know how to talk in a meeting with them. Like, all of these things are part of it.
Are we in the same NFL? You know how many cocky quarterbacks there are?
No.
It's the relationship.
It's the relationship between the coordinator and a quarterback, because that thing is very right, and it's got to be a certain way for it to bleed throughout the team that this is the right thing to do. Not just saying you're going to ever see it, but not everybody can handle this young punk coming in. That's what is going to be perceived by somebody, and so if they have the
that means you're marginal. Because Kobe said it. I agree.
Yeah.
You got to be undeniable. For me, I watch Cam Ward. I'm like, bigger arm, more athletic, got a great IQ as well. He's the guy that goes over Shadeur. It's not that deep for me. But then when you talk about looking at someone who they have all these questions, it's because you're not undeniable. Like, I can look at you and say, you're close, but you're not it, right?
Yes.
Think about it. The arrogance, if you're a baller, if it's just a prohibitive #1 overall pick, everyone sees him coming. Peyton Manning, he was.
But those are never good, though. Those #1 quarterbacks, give me Patrick Mahomes all day. He was not considered the #1 guy in the draft. Give me him all day.
I think we're both telling the truth, because I think Peyton Manning, I think John Elway.
1 out of 50, right? It's like out of all the guys that got drafted, 1.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give me the 15 and after quarterbacks, as far as there's 50 of them.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that's going to a better team, so you.
Well, then
you're loading
there
the
you
question.
go. Another
So,
another nuance.
yeah.
I guess, just hearing you talk about Cam Ward, I agree. I think he's a great quarterback, but he had an elite offensive line protecting him all season. Like, you can't say that. I don't think Shadeur had an elite offensive line ever. Maybe in high school, but it's like never as a college athlete. And I think he was still able to, or running game. So he was still able to exceed expectations as far as his production on the field, even without having time in the pocket. So I think that his game is going to translate better to the NFL, because we already know what he can do under duress. You know he's going to get back up. We know he's going to get back in and put the work in and find a way for his team to have success.
Careful there.
Cam
do you know how well he can do?
Cam hasn't been challenged yet.
Do you know how well he can do when it's on script, on rhythm, on time? Because sometimes guys don't adjust back.
What I'm saying, like, he's kind of like he's battle tested, is what I'm saying.
None of them are NFL battle tested.
He's not NFL, but he led the NCAA in sacks. He got sacked more than he got hit more than anybody.
If you talk, I mean,
we're just speaking facts. Like, some people can't handle getting hit and playing.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't think. So you say you don't think?
Jaden Carr led 1 year too.
So the couch is saying Cam Ward over Shadeur.
I'm not saying neither.
I say Cam Ward. I say he's gonna get drafted.
I'm saying I don't think Shadeur is falling.
We're gonna check receipts.
Because I think Shadeur over Cam.
That's what
and I would say,
As far as
drafted
or career.
If I'm coaching the Marcellus Wileys,
yeah,
I'm taking Shadeur over Cam.
Okay.
For career, for like the 5 years,
whatever it is. Like, we're drafting and we're saying, hey, we're gonna give the ball to somebody. I'm gonna give the ball to Shadeur.
Let's get this a scoreboard. Who's getting drafted first in this draft?
See, I don't know. Like,
that's what we were saying.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's what it says. Everyone is saying Cam, so I guess I'm gonna believe that Cam is gonna go first. But I'll say this, because you talked about, like, the room and how it matters. So when C.J. Stroud was coming out, there was conversation about C.J. Stroud and the S2 testing. There was also a conversation about when he went to Houston, him and the offensive coordinator, the former offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick, got into it. They didn't jive, right? And so they didn't jive. And so when he was going through the process, he was like, well, I'm definitely not going to Houston. So when they picked up and called him, he was like, what?
Hence, who's the quarterback coach in Houston?
So then they go and get Gerard Johnson.
So he's now the buffer between the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. That's why it's important to have that relationship.
That's typically how it goes, because they did not. He tried to coach him hard, and CJ was like, hey, bro, like, you don't talk to me like
I earned it.
Yeah, like
already
you
here.
can't talk to me crazy like that. So that relationship is whatever. So it speaks to not necessarily the player, but who's coaching the player and how they want to interact. Because what you perceive to be coaching me hard, I may perceive it to be disrespectful, depending on my environment and where I came from. So all of those things matter. So when we say it's not necessarily racist, it may be racial, just given who you've been around or whatever.
It ain't no racial, ain't no racist. This shit is about, like, dog, if you good, they get paid too much to not invest in great. Like it's just
but they miss out on that every year.
And they miss out on it with great intentions, not dangerous intentions, not racist intentions today. Now, once again, these conversations never really squarely land because you always go back. But I got this example. I'm like, if you're living right now, dog, it ain't nothing more fancy than being a black quarterback.
He could have took it a whole bunch of other angles than the way he took it. Like we said, he could have took it. He could have took it the way he acts. You know how immature he. Well, not only say immature, but how he's just his antics and stuff, and the way he just. Yeah, exactly. But he went race. I don't think racist at all. And I feel when any team gets either Shadeur or Cam, they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like, and I hate this conversation when it gets race baity, whatever you want to call it, racial, is because it really gives, think about it, the black quarterback now, it gives Shadeur, anybody like that, it gives them something like, well, if it didn't work out, you know why. And it's like, no. Look at the film too. Like, you know, look at the years you were playing. Look at the sacks you took. Look at the plays you made and didn't make. Instead of just, well, you know, I mean, that's what it is. It almost like when we were growing up, they all say you always an N-word and you always gonna be an N-word. You remember them songs? And I was like,
no,
what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, no. I know some black people that get treated better than all the white people I know. But that's where it lands for me.
I just thought about something.
Yeah.
Is this an indictment on a quarterback who doesn't have the definite qualities of a quote unquote black quarterback?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
I mean, think about it.
Because CJ got that.
They're elevating Cam Ward because they say he's bigger, stronger, faster,
and he's athletic because he went from a time where the media thing went from we wanted the traditional pocket passer, we wanted the guy who stayed in the pocket, to now we want the guy who can run around and do all this other stuff. So the guy who doesn't do that is now frowned upon. That was the stuff that C.J. Stroud had to work against.
Is this the black girl with no booty?
That's pretty.
Are we talking about? Hey, brother, you can't dance. Like, is that what we saying?
I agree with him because
there's some of that. It's just a perception because the perception is that if it's a black quarterback, he's going to be athletic and run around because of the tags and the labels. But if you don't have that, then you do.
That's a heck of a
no, but Byron Leftwich, I played with Byron Leftwich. What, 7th overall pick?
That's like
7th overall pick.
That's like 20. That's like 20 years ago.
Byron Leftwich has been a player.
You said Stroud.
He's been a coach.
Stroud.
But this new age.
That's a long time ago.
Like not many.
Penix ain't moving like that.
He's able to.
Michael Penix.
I know, but look
with them bad knees.
He's able to move enough. He's able to move enough to create a little bit more time down the pocket, and that's what this new NFL's taking over. Like,
I know.
I'm a Raider fan. I want us to get a mobile quarterback bad. You know, Geno's a little bit mobile, but that's the new age, being able to create more time. These DBs cannot hang with these receivers as long as they need.
Oh, I agree. But you think somebody is scouting and say, "Oh, he black but can't run, so I got to deduct him." Like, what the hell? I don't think, like, make it make sense.
But that's what they want more. I think that's what they want more. Though.
I think
you know what I'm saying? That's what they want more.
It's a bunch of conversations that are baked into it, and so like the conversation, like what we're doing is. Because we're not getting it direct from the source. We're not getting it direct from the coach. We're getting it by way of someone reporting. And I would say, like, it might be more who's reporting it, how's it getting reported, how's it getting out there, more so than that. I can't sit there and say that, hey, I'm a coach and I'm going to work against myself because I don't want to coach the black quarterback. I don't think it operates like that. No. I think everyone wants to win. We've seen guys.
Some implicit bias, you're saying? Or just all kind of different ways it scatters? I hear you.
I can't believe that people don't believe that Shadeur Sanders is going to be a good pro quarterback.
But nobody, you don't know.
I feel like
that.
Though. I mean, that feels hard to believe. He's so good.
Why?
He's
been so good.
He throws the ball on time. He's accurate.
What you're about to say is they say the same thing about all those first round picks. Right?
You know how many Heisman winners at quarterback that
have not won,
and they look insane in
Heath
college.
Schuler was one of the best quarterbacks, and it just doesn't always work out. That's why it goes more back to where you get drafted. So wherever if you guys want to use the word drop, it's going to be a better fit for if he goes 2 or 3.
For him if he drops.
I also feel like Shadeur knows how to be a pro, though.
He does.
He's been in the limelight. He understands how to be a pro.
Yeah.
So that changes the game for him and understanding how to be in the locker room, how to be a leader, how to be a professional football player. So Cam may go higher than him, But he may last longer. He may have longevity because he understands how to do it. He's been watching his dad do it since he was a kid. So that changes the game for him in just understanding. He feels like he can come into the combine talking all the shit that he's talking right now because he understands my dad did it. My dad wore chains and glasses and he was prime time. So why do I change?
As long as you don't go
in as athletic.
Well, yeah, you're not prime time.
You're not prime.
But if you don't come
prime right now,
you last longer. Bucky, I want you to talk about this. He said something very interesting. I really loved it. First in, last out. Like that is just as a perception, as a reality. We know. Is it a necessity? Like you got to be first in, last out
as a quarterback.
As a quarterback.
100%. You have to.
Okay.
Just a
you with
perception.
Doesn't mean y'all both right. Just mean I took on double teams all day.
Just the perception because
it's just the perception.
It's the perception because
at the beginning
you can't. Oh yeah. You can't be the quarterback that makes the most money and does the least amount of work.
No, I get it.
Like it just.
So what happens when it lands and you know this because they all know that and they all try that, but half of them fail. Because most quarterbacks are not good versus good, then what's the reality of that perception?
Get rich or die trying. Like that's what we're trying to do. Like we're trying to exhaust everything. But it's something that has to be taught. Like Anthony Richardson fell into this trap. He didn't know that Tuesday's a work day. For quarterbacks,
you think
Tuesdays day off
too, right?
Yeah,
not for quarterbacks.
Kyler Murray too.
But Kyler Murray shut them up when he started winning
because he started coming in.
Because he started coming in on Tuesday.
No, it wasn't because he started coming in. It's because he started winning. Then it was like, oh, whatever you're doing is working.
He started coming in first. Then they started winning, so we forgave you for what you did 2 years ago.
We always forgive you.
But we put it in his contract. Hey man, you gotta be off some video games.
Sometimes you gotta play.
My guys, but
sometimes you gotta play the role too. You gotta play the role.
I know you're playing
and
the
I know
role.
you know how to play with that baby blue sweater on.
Yes,
that role.
I know the role, but guess what? We are rolling at you trying to play the role when you ain't out there doing what you're supposed to do. That doesn't last long. That doesn't last long.
Again, you're having two total separate conversations. Because what
you're gonna do it.
Because I ain't gonna lie. When I was holding out though, I was the year before my contract was up, I was going in. I was used to lift after practice. I was going in that morning. I was going in the morning
so they can see you.
So they can see you. I was going in early that whole year.
We also
and then when I got my money, I'm back to lifting after practice.
Thank you. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows. Penn trying to get the bag.
I got it.
He a free agent.
I got it.
He a free agent. His 4th year. Oh, I'm working hard. I'm
in there in the morning.
The best shape of my life.
That's all. I always came in shape.
Wow.
He walks in with Cheetos,
ice cream.
Yeah, like he right back.
No, I came back. Still bar.
Yeah.
And now I made my promos after
you ain't
that.
fooling nobody.
I made my promos after that.
We all know.
That's why I'm like, I just don't like when you get there first in, last out, and you babysitting the building. You babysitting
you
the
ain't
walls.
doing
I'm like,
nothing.
dog, I know you ain't doing nothing. Like coaches are kings of that. They just sitting there, and you go in their room, they on the same play. They guarding the desk. Same play up, coach. That's an hour later.
A lot of them just
steam room or in
the head coach is still in there, they just go back in the office. They'll never leave before the head coach.
The head coach.
I know. That's why they start tracking the film we watch. Remember that when they put those devices on the computer?
Yeah.
And then Cass was like, "Yeah, I saw that." And coach was like,
"No, you didn't.
You know I track this shit." You ain't.
We did the same thing with high school kids.
Yeah,
I think that's how
Manziel, Mike Vick, Jamarcus Russell. They're like all that. Put $100 bills, $100 bill in page 48 of the playbook.
Never found it.
Hey, when Mike Tice got to Oakland, he was like the first week he was there, he was like, it was like Friday. He came up to me like, DP, like,
I love Mike Tyson.
He said, pull me to the side, like real cool. He's like, hey DP, he said, you've been doing this for a minute. He said, but I looked at the film thing. He said, you ain't watched no film all week.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Coach, check it on Sunday.
Yeah, because you
So
just
you
called
played-
it.
you played
Saturday.
well.
No, Saturday is my time. I like to do it the day before, so it stays.
You load up.
Saturday after meetings, I go in there for 2 hours. After I'm done, I'm doing another hour while I'm doing my cold tub, hot tub before I even go back home. You know what I'm saying? On the plane, I get at least 4 hours a day the day before the game.
You sound guilty as a motherfucker.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I believe
Like
it's
the night
different.
before, I sit in the bed with my iPad.
And 4 hours ain't enough
with
to block me, motherfucker.
I said, shit. No, I'm watching. No, but I'm watching film all week while we're in film. You know what I'm saying? Coach is playing so much stuff.
Were you sleep?
Nah.
You never slept in your meetings?
I did.
You weren't a vet
did.
then.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you when I did. I slept when we used to watch our film. You remember after practice?
I know you.
I'd be in there knocked out when we watching our film in practice.
I know
I'd
you
be
ain't
knocked.
watch no tape because if you really did
I
it
ain't
like
watch no tape?
if you really did it like a pro, Friday's the shortest day.
Shortest day.
So we leave the facility and we go get it in.
Yeah, that ain't
we
sound
get
right.
it in all night Friday night, so we can go to sleep good on Saturday.
Yeah.
So there ain't no way you watching film.
Thank you.
Saturday you over there like this.
I go to sleep.
There's no way.
I promise you I
There's
do.
no way.
I promise
I'm
you
just
I
letting
do.
you know, bullshit. I can hear it. I
Friday
heard
night
it.
we're out. We're
All
in
right.
the streets.
Yeah,
Like there's no
And
way.
then I do my 2 hours. And then I do my 2 hours in the cold tub. What
I just played 14 years, and I'm just fucking lying.
Hold on. Yes, you
all
are.
y'all grown ass men.
Yes.
Hey,
You
anybody,
detox.
raise your hand. Raise your hand if you ever seen a cold tub. Have you ever seen a cold tub that had the video service hooked up to it?
No. No.
Cold tub, hot tub.
Yeah, your cold tub?
Sweating
have
that
my
liquor
iPad.
out.
I have my
Friday
iPad.
night.
I have
You're
my
not-
iPad.
Oh, you have your iPad
have
in the
my
cold
iPad.
tub.
And the dominoes.
Yes, I hold my
Oh,
iPad.
okay.
Yes, I always
Oh,
do
yeah.
my
You go out
iPad.
Friday night?
Waterproof.
You went out Friday night? You go out
Sometimes
Friday
I
night?
did.
Sometimes you did. So you went out
Sometimes
Friday
I
night.
did.
We're in Mars Venus.
Sometimes
We're in
I
Mars
did.
Venus.
And I still got my Saturday nap in, and I still watch film before
It ain't
I
for
went to
24
sleep.
hours.
I always got
We
a Saturday
travel.
nap in.
We travel.
We travel on those Saturdays. What happened when we
and I'm
travel?
sleeping on the plane.
Get to the hotel.
Hold
And
on.
I'm watching
I
on the bus.
thought. Hold on.
watching on the
Hold on.
bus.
Hold on. Hey,
They
hey,
on
you know
your
you
head.
fucked up, don't you?
They on
You know you
your
fucked up,
head.
don't
No, I
you?
didn't.
You know you dropped
No,
a
I
bottle of
didn't.
beer at 11:30.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Because
Hold on.
after walkthrough, I
happened?
get in the cold tub and hot tub, and I watch my film. Then on the bus, I watch my film.
When you change your clothes,
All
you
right.
go to the airport.
Then when I get home after
bring your
meetings,
film.
We
I
on a
watch
road
my
trip.
film
I
until
think
we go to sleep.
road trip. We leaving at 1 o'clock. When you watch your
Exactly.
4 hours, where your 4 hours
My
at?
4 hours, oh, it might be 3 then.
Okay, now it's down to
Now it's
3.
down to 3.
Hey,
One day is 3. My bad. One day the road trips is 3. My fucking bad.
We had a half hour.
Throw the
Is.
fucking tag.
Okay, so
One day
we got
road trip, I messed up.
So the road trip, we got KFC. So you mean to tell me you scrolling through with them greasy fingers
On the Popeyes.
iPad?
We got Popeyes.
That
and
the
you
Rooks had
watching
to bring.
Man, come on.
I eat my stuff before I eat my stuff in the locker room.
It's okay, buddy.
No, I eat my shit in the locker
I
room.
believe you.
And I'm on the iPad watching film.
Okay, Donald,
believe
we all understand.
Just because you had to do your shit on VHS, you didn't have the iPad.
We're gonna go
That's
to
okay.
commercial, and we're gonna
Just
be
because
right
you
back in
didn't have
30
the
seconds.
We all
You
love
didn't
you.
have the iPad, so you had VHS or your laptop, right?
DP, we love you. No one believes you, and I don't think you believe yourself.
I believe
They're
him.
not gonna take the check back.
So yeah, let's go ahead. Go on to the
Let's
next
move
topic.
on.
Yeah, let's move
Let's
on.
move on to because like
Because let's go come back anyway. I already know.
I know an hour. Lord, I'm glad we got timestamps.
That was a great show.
I'm watching the last.
And we'll see you next week.
I'm watching the last 2 games. I'm watching all third down pass pros.
Like I said, go on to the next topic.
Welcome
right.
to the Lawrence Welk
Look,
Hour.
I'm gonna just respectfully disagree with your timeline of events.
I believe.
Okay, I said 4 hours.
But we're
My
gonna
bad
move
is
on
not
to the next
exactly
topic.
fucking
We're
4
gonna move
hours.
on to the
I'm
next
sorry,
topic.
dog. Like shit.
Because-
I had to be like.
You hear this hit dog? Y'all hear this hit dog? This hit dog is hollering. All right, let's make sure we have order. Let's one mic, DP. We gotta work one mic. Problem.
Time my whole thing out.
We gotta have one mic. This is for them too.
Oh, one
Let them
mic.
live.
All I
Let
need
them
is one mic.
Problem with Stephen A. Smith saying on Gil's Arena podcast that LeBron's confrontation was weak and bullshit. I say no more. DP, you go first.
Yeah,
I ain't
please.
going. Y'all go.
I said that in the last episode.
Nah.
What we
Nah,
got?
I'm messing with
now
you.
we back. What you got? What you
I'm messing with you. Nah, man, I feel like this some BS after all that. You should have said that when you came on ESPN and did the whole.
You said
everything.
he took the high road.
Yeah, you should have
took
did
the
that,
high
and
road
then
on
he
ESPN.
didn't say it on his podcast
There's a
either,
reason for that though.
because he around Gilbert and all them. You know what I'm saying? Like he think I was
No.
doing what he think that's what I was just doing. Sale thing. That's what I was just doing just now with the 4 hours of film. He got around some motherfuckers and started talking. I was telling the truth, but he got around some.
1 minute. You lasted 1 minute.
That's it. I told
But
you.
serious though. I feel like that's what he got around Gil and them, and he was like,
Got him gassed up.
Gas
yeah, you know,
light.
like they was talking before, like we be talking, and they got him going. I feel like if that was the case, you should have said that. You had 2 other times you talked about it, and you didn't say that. So
I'm not saying you're wrong, but just to give a little backstory on it, he said the reason why at first he took the high road, but then he saw the clip with LeBron and Richard Jefferson talking that at the game the other day, and he was like, that like that rubbed him the wrong way. So then he went on Gil's show, and then that's when he started giving extra detail to it and really calling him out, because he's like, all right, y'all over there disrespecting me pretty much. So now the gloves is off. So that's why he didn't say everything. According to him, that's why he didn't say everything on ESPN that he said on Gil's show.
You think that clears it up for you?
No, I don't. I was just giving backstory because he said he should have said it on ESPN.
But you're saying why he didn't.
Right. I'm just acknowledging.
Well, he made it seem like he was confused a little, like LeBron. I'm not criticizing your son. I'm talking about you, but that never was the confrontation. The confrontation was, don't talk about my son, from LeBron, and Stephen A made it seem like he just took it like, what are you talking about? Right. But I think if you know what you've done and then somebody confronts you, the first thing you should think is, where are they coming from, right? Not where you've been, but where are they coming from, and does it attach to where you've been? And when you didn't do that, to me, that's not genuine.
Right.
To me, that's like, now you're just trying to see which audience is watching which and listening to what, because you got a different version.
Of Stephen A. and Richard Jefferson. If that's you reacting to somebody else, that's ridiculous. Like, you're reacting because of that happened. What was the audio from LeBron and Richard Jefferson's?
So I thought about that too, but then being that they were on ESPN, maybe, you know, he's in the building. Maybe he had the audio from what was actually happening in that conversation. I didn't hear any audio, but I know
publicly?
Jefferson had the
he was talking about father. Yeah. To me, this is funny because if you guys, Nick Wright, Bomani Jones, they've had a conversation about it. And the thing is, just to lay it out flat, is LeBron came at Stephen A because Stephen A one time questioned him as a father. Remember, he was like, I don't want to disrespect you, but as a father, can you stop the misery?
Stop it. He's extra.
Stop it. Then, so let's go through these beats and then everybody go. So then from there, LeBron says, let me get my camp to call you up because, you talking about me as a father. Like, it's one thing to clown my son. He's sorry. I'm great. I'm not Jordan though. I'm not. But you saying what I should do as a father. So then Stephen A outed that and said, look, I just got off the phone with his camp. This ain't it. And now I got text messages too. I ain't feeling that. Then that turns into, if you LeBron, you're like, dog, I sent my people to tell you. And you try to clown. Now when I see you,
it's on site.
It's on site, and I'm going to tell you what they supposedly told you. And then you don't say nothing about that, and then that turns into escalating into what he did on Gil's Arena. So just in timeline.
And he also has more platforms to talk about it. LeBron ain't getting on TV talking about it. He probably could if he wanted to. Yeah. But Stephen A. Smith talking about it every chance he get, because that's like big
ratings boost.
That's my point. That's my point. But it keeps changing though.
Yeah.
It keeps changing. Like he's saying one thing. He should have stopped when he said the first thing on ESPN. Stop there. Don't.
He could have been a sympathetic figure.
That's exactly right.
Like, damn, LeBron run up on you because you just criticizing Bronny?
Whatever stance you take.
Yeah.
If it's high or low, just keep that at that same stance though. Don't switch it up.
Yeah.
Now he's switching it up.
Now you flippy floppy.
When you have an argument and then you get into the argument and a day later you're like, damn, I should have said that. You know what I mean? He went home and looked himself in the mirror and was like, man, I should have said all that shit.
And the next platform I get on,
I'm going to do it. He started listening to what people were saying probably too, and he's like, nah, I got it.
Yeah, but that's the definition of a non-dude, right?
Well, Debo around, I'm going to shut up. But then when he go,
yeah.
I'll be talking again.
Right.
Again. You know Steve was sitting there scared. He was scared. He was probably like,
but here's the thing. We are doing the same thing again. This week is LeBron. It's a clash of the egos. This week it's LeBron and Stephen A. Smith. Now my thing is, like, LeBron's been getting called out in the media for 20 years by Skip, by Colin. He ain't never confronted these dudes like this. He ain't never done nothing. So
hold on, I hear something. What you trying to say, that now this is different?
I mean, maybe I don't
know. Because I don't know the time that anybody else, and you can prove me wrong,
as far as personal.
But there's somebody, LeBron doesn't care if you clown him. He doesn't even care if you clown Bronny. He cares if you're trying to tell him he ain't a father or the right father, or he's doing his father job wrong. And that's where this came. Hold on. If I don't trip for 20 years and you've been doing everything, and then somebody does something different and I trip on that, it's because of that. Ain't because, I'm scared of white reporters, or I'm not going to confront the white guys who do it.
Or I expect an extra cushion from you because of that.
No, you came at me like nobody else is coming.
I think it's I think it's the sauce with which Stephen A. comes. It's not just, hey man, look, Bronny can't.
Oh yeah, that was sauce and comes.
Wow. Look at all these damn flags.
I never.
You got insurance.
Think about it like.
You got insurance.
I never think about
Make it rain.
My bad.
I mean,
My bad. Hey, I'm
glad the kids at school.
My bad.
Lord.
I just think the way Stephen A. did it because it was so extra. It was so extra on TV. And I understand we play TV and we take it to another level. Like, look, it's performative art.
I'm begging you as a father.
Right, but stop it. But I mean, even I would feel some kind of way. Like, hey man, you ain't gonna be talking about me like so. I get that, but then Stephen A. can't play victim though, because you can't say all this stuff because a lot of those people, when you talk about why doesn't he go Colin and Skip, they ain't outside. They don't come outside because everyone's sitting in studio. Well, if Stephen A. wants to walk in there and put your feet on the wood,
then that's what it costs.
I can see you now.
It costs you,
and so that is the thing. Like, if you're gonna say it, you got to be able to stand on it. So he can't act surprised when someone confronts him.
That's the part. Two parts. One, I'll never own 10, but fuck around and talk about MJ. You're gonna see 100, right? One, or me, how I deal with him. Two, let me find out that you know you, like that's like me seeing Ryan Clark. I know he got a problem with me. I got no problem with you. But when he come to me, I know it's gonna be his problem, right? I can't act like, what does Ryan Clark want right now? What's wrong with you? You know what it is, like, right? And that's why I'm like, dog, I've been through too many beefs and avoided all of them because I know what it is. I'm not gonna act stupid. What's up? What's up? Dog, first of all, if somebody say what's up and you answer what's up, y'all fighting, right? Two what's up means a fight, right? We about to do something. So why are you acting like you don't know
what's going on?
You told this man as a father, please put your son out of his basketball misery. That shit is wrong as it gets.
National on one of the biggest stages.
We all think that's a violation. But according to him, he said specifically, stop talking about my son.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I don't like what you said about me.
He said, keep my son out of this shit, bro.
Yeah. So it still sounds like his issue is he's trying to protect Bronny, not himself.
Oh, no, let's get that layer out. Here's the funniest part. So why do we talk about the 55th pick? And we never do that.
Because
and there's
Bronny.
evidence. Bronny is playing better than everybody who's drafted after him. And in the G League, he's playing better than some cats that was drafted before him. Bronny doing this thizzle, and he ain't getting paid no more than cats this year or last year. So let's get that all out the way. Why are we talking about pick 55? You want to know why? It's obvious. Who's your daddy? So LeBron is like, dog, why are you talking about my son using me? Don't trampoline me to get to my son. Clown my son.
Just talk about
or
my
clown
son.
me in basketball. But when you clowning me as a father so you can get your highlights or lowlights of Tyrese Maxey destroying them, why would Stephen A. go on the show and put Tyrese Maxey eating up on the 55th pick talking about you should be a better father than this? That shit is just,
that's kind of
showing that clip over and over again.
I agree, but you keep going back to him, that one clip when he's talking about LeBron as a father. But
is that not enough? I got to stop you twice?
It is, but I don't think that's what LeBron is beefing with him about. I still think it's about them talking about Bronny just in general.
No.
Because they've been killing him.
He called him right after that.
He was killing him.
He called him. He didn't call him after the draft. He didn't call him at the Tyrese Maxey is when Stephen A. said it. They put it on SportsCenter. They put all his lowlights. They put his stats. And then he's like, look, instead of just saying this sucks. All right, well, it does. It's 0.3 and 0.4.
I was watching. I remember saying he was dramatic.
I mean,
Stephen A.
Stephen A. said, "What camera? What camera? Put the camera on me." You know how he does that? Put the camera. What camera am I talking into? What camera am I? He know what camera he talking into. What camera am I talking to? Oh, okay. Hey.
The one right in front of you.
The same one you've been talking to for the last hour.
The one with the red light.
Yeah, he went hard.
It's performative art, like you said. That's his whole thing. Like he's theatrical.
That's why he got paid.
That's why.
He the top
Just because
dog.
you got paid, just because you got paid don't mean you're right though.
This is true. We all know that.
Because you got paid don't mean you can't be put in your place. And I feel like LeBron did it in a real respectful way because no hands was moving, his shoulders was moving a little bit, but it wasn't none of. You know,
LeBron never been that guy though.
He tried to keep his little, you know what I'm saying, demeanor and not. It could have been a lot worse. So you got to commend LeBron too on saying and keeping it real quick and getting up out of there.
Also, man, LeBron is in a point in his career where he don't care.
Oh,
he ain't got to put on. You ain't never heard LeBron talk this much on on a barbershop show, and like you ain't never the first 15 years of his career, we ain't know what type of personality he had. We just know he showed up, he played good, he was the first pick, he was the chosen one. Now we say, oh damn, he actually got some little gangster. He actually like rap. He actually know lyrics. He actually shows up to concerts and he turning up, and he actually got something to say to Stephen A. when he talking about his kids. So now we like, oh damn, okay, we see you, LeBron. He 20 years in the game. He a billionaire. He came out with all the weight of the world on his shoulders. He performed. He wasn't in the streets. He ain't getting no trouble. He had a point now. He like, man, look, I don't care if y'all like me or not.
And he ain't gonna be a prisoner of his. He don't want to be a prisoner of his success. And that's what happens to a lot of those superstars. They don't say anything. They don't pick a side on the issue or any of that stuff, because they like prisoners of their own success. If you step in it, you're going to upset this part of your fan base. You step in it here. And LeBron just like, dog, I still don't care about the basketball talk. Jordan better than me. You got it. All right. Who else? It's just the fact that you brought my son up in a father-son relationship and I need to stall him out. What did he do to put your son on the Lakers and that's a bad thing? This is what's so funny because who said this? Oh, Dan Patrick was like, what's wrong with Stephen A? He's like, he didn't send him to Afghanistan. He sent him to the Lakers. And you acting like he need to show some mercy on
the kid. Ain't gonna be no growing. Yeah, but like ain't gonna be no growing nephew. Yeah, like ain't gonna be no growing pains though.
Like
he on the podcast.
Coincidence that he was sitting two seats down from the bench. Like they put him right there. They knew they had beef. They knew the relationship wasn't
all this
good.
stuff is staged.
And I think it's not a coincidence he had that seat.
I don't think it was staged.
He could have sat across the court.
He would have walked across the court.
He would have across the court. He would have walked across this court.
Yeah, he could
have. No, I'm serious. He was gonna get that message out. Yeah, just like he did it before the fourth quarter started, like y'all said. Like you ain't leaving this game early, bro.
Yeah, if it's on your chest, if it's on your chest, and you sent your camp to do it, then the guy that you talking to outs it, laughs at it, ridicules it, and then you're like, oh, and then they send some text to follow up, and then you clown that. I mean, I'm not the type, but the type that is like that, it's on site.
And then after that was the backstory. That's crazy. So like, it's like when I see you, I'm definitely hollering at you. I tried to go this route already, and it wasn't respected.
Because he tried to do it privately, right?
Yeah.
He tried to. Yeah. So I'm trying to do it respectfully. Like, hey man, like don't like that's a little extra. Like keep that. Oh, and you go. Okay, so now we gotta have this talk, and I'm gonna show out in front of everybody so everyone sees me come at you.
See, I don't even think he did it to show out. I think they caught him, but he was like, when I see you, if it's at CHICK-FIL-A or at the Zone game, I'm hollering at you.
Hey, but he probably sent in an interview request. Hey, ESPN, I'm ready. Let me talk. Come in.
Oh boy.
Nah, he ain't gonna do that. That's Stephen A's house.
Nah.
They would manipulate that.
But you gotta understand too, and Stevens, when he talked about the situation too, he said they got my number. They could have reached out. They did reach out.
Yeah.
Like you kept
that's
going.
What I'm saying.
Like, you remember that was part of
it's
his
media.
apology.
It's media manipulation when the stories come out like this in piecemeal. Like like you got to watch this one to watch that one to watch that one. If not, the voice that's loudest, that's talking the longest, that's talking about the oldest shit is gonna be the truth, because that's just how the lies go. Like you just can piece it. You get on Gilbert's and say that level of depth, but then you're on your own show. You're not giving that because it's revisionist history. You keep adding layers that you think can convince people who don't know better. And then there's always going to be somebody like, dog, LeBron wasn't going to fight you. So I hate that narrative. LeBron ain't with the smoke. What smoke? I'm a billionaire. I get somebody to smoke for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? I'm not getting my hands dirty with this, but dog, you ain't got to cross that line, dog.
Isn't Stephen A. Here's the irony. Isn't Stephen A. Smith? He's known for being ridiculously private about his kids, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So he should understand that shit. Like I don't know. I knew what Stuart Scott's daughters look like. I don't know what Stephen A. Smith's daughter look like.
Idea.
I know what your daughter looks like. Still, but he should understand the whole fatherhood part of this.
And that's what's so crazy about it, right? Yeah. Like because it was just so extra. I'm pleading with you. Where's my camera? I'm pleading with you as a father. Like it's like really like okay. So he put his son on the Lakers. If I could put my son on, I'm putting him on. So I don't understand like all the controversy. Everyone's outraged. Right. Like that is the way of life. If I had a plumbing business, it would be Brooks and Son. Like, that's what we do. Like, that's what you should
Play
do.
devil's advocate. Can Stephen A. do his job? Once he steps on the NBA court, he's not reporting on him in the
Yo,
G
you
League.
talk about
But if
it.
he
That's
was
what
doing
it is.
that-
G League, but if he gets on the NBA court and they played that game in Philadelphia,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they put those stats behind him while he's doing his show, he's got to do his job.
Yeah, but your job, there's a million ways to skin the cat.
That's what I'm about to say.
And so when
Ways
I'm
to do
doing my job and I like you, I'm saying, oh my God, this is just a blip on the radar. We know so much more about him. He's so much better than this. When I don't like him, like, this is exactly what I told you. This dude right here. So
It's true. It was growing pains.
So
right?
Stephen A. Smith, all you have to do is change the topic sentence. As a father, like, hold on, you talking about a dude who doesn't play well, and you talking about the daddy-son relationship?
Right.
Yeah. See,
that was extra. But I'm saying like he's
extra. If MJ makes it to the league, God knows I would love that. But at the
Right.
same time, if he doesn't, God knows I love my boy. But if he does make it to the league, and somebody dare say, Marcellus, why are you doing this to your son?
You would say so.
No, I wouldn't. Fofo bulldog, my motherfucking pet.
You would? You wouldn't say so?
No, not that one.
Oh. Hey,
everybody got a price.
Marcel, find the camera and tell him.
Say I'm sorry.
He ain't gonna give you my non-violent way.
He
what-
argued us down that day.
That's what I'm saying.
No, here's the difference. I know
Nobody's words can do this to
but
me.
what are you
You
saying?
remember that Ryan Clark thing? Nobody. We had that whole little thing, and I.
You don't even know. What you mean?
I said if I could get away with beating somebody's ass, I would beat somebody's ass. And you like,
You
no,
said you would beat
no,
somebody's
if
ass.
I get away with it, I said I would.
Yeah, you did. I remember
and
that.
You said no, I still would. I say so all that. Ain't nobody ever gonna get me out my element.
He said nobody's words can make me do this. Nobody's words can make me want to
you
put
said
hands on
nobody's
him.
words.
I think it's all right.
Contradicting yourself.
Y'all know I ain't gonna do nothing.
You know the cameras were recording.
I got you, motherfucker. You know I'm saying this so that nobody do it one day. Like I'm hoping. I'm like putting it out there like, yo, don't fuck with me. And then when they fuck with you, like, damn it. That's what Stephen A. Smith said. Anytime y'all see me, I'm always courtside. I'm always there.
Holler at me.
Holler at me. Well, you got hollered at.
got
Then what'd
hollered
you do? I just did the same thing about MJ. I'm just talking.
He does do that all the time.
Yeah.
Anybody can come see me if you got a problem and all of that.
And then somebody,
LeBron did this.
knocked on the front door.
and he like, no, I'm busy. I'm with Larry David, Ari Emanuel. He said, I don't give a fuck.
Wait, you know what? The fact that he brought up who he was with is a whole other thing.
You know.
Why does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
What was that conversation like when they sat back down?
His face was hot. And you get embarrassed.
You okay?
Hey, dog.
You know, they're like, man, I can't take y'all nowhere.
Who was he there with?
Mad about? Are you okay?
Who was he there with?
Right at the game.
Quiet 5 minutes after that.
Hey, look, I am the king of avoiding conflict. I know all the quote-unquote punk moves. One of them is talking about, oh, I would have if I wasn't there, or who I was with, or what I was doing, or I didn't see you coming. Shut the shit. Dog, I don't like to fight. And I know that you remind me of me. You didn't want to fight. Like, you didn't want smoke. You didn't want an argument. You didn't want to debate. You wanted to just sit there and say, I'm going to use where I am, who I'm with. It didn't stop Shannon Sharp. When Shannon Sharp was courtside,
He was ready.
he was ready.
He was ready.
He was ready to go. And I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying you can do what you want to do.
Hey, what's Shannon say? I don't work out. I don't work out every day for nothing. I don't work out every day for
Hey,
nothing.
Stephen A. sat back down. He was like, man, that shit crazy.
Ain't it, Jay?
Hey, he was probably like, man, this nigga tripping. this nigga tripping, man.
Oh, man.
It ain't even that serious.
I gotta talk about this tomorrow.
It ain't even that serious.
Right. What she ordered? CHICK-FIL-A. All right, let's get into this best landing spot. We got some football nerds in here. For Aaron Rodgers, man, we got Giants, Vikings, or Steelers, they say are the favorites. I'm going to go to you, Matthew Hatchett.
Ooh.
Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, where's the best spot for him?
Ooh, that's tough. It definitely ain't the Giants. It could be Pittsburgh. I don't like what I love what the Vikings did in free agency, just not with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Right? They shouldn't have got rid of him. I don't know if A-Rod comes in there and wins 14 games or 12 games. Pittsburgh is a good fit, but I think A-Rod and Russell are two of the type of the same player when it comes to statistical after 17 games. I think they'll have, the same, I guess, advantages and or disadvantages in that system. But I don't like none of those spots for him, actually.
Well, you know he's going to play next year. And you know we're going to see
But
him this
will he?
weekend.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if he's going to play next year. I mean, just because we all know it's the NFL. Just because the player wants to keep going, don't mean he go.
Aaron Rodgers could drop his price tag where he could go where he
Will he drop his price tag?
You just said he's earned the most money in NFL history.
Yeah, but nobody wants to pay him $50 million no more. You see what I'm saying? I don't think nobody's gonna pay him $50 million because you're not going to the Super Bowl with Aaron. Why would you pay him $50 million?
He knows he's not getting $50 million. He knows he's not getting $50 million. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago at the gym. He knows he's not getting $50 million. Yeah, at the gym. I was in the.
Why are you so shocked that he go to the gym?
I was in the sauna though.
Watching film.
Hey, when I read it,
watching film.
See, look, I thought we wasn't bringing it up. Hey, nah, but to hit back on that, I think if I was A-Rod with the success Minnesota had last year, and with the weapons they have, and with the Coach O'Connell and the stuff they're doing, I mean, I think that would be a great fit for me to come in there to rejuvenate my career and have a comeback career. Pittsburgh, I'm with you, Giants, no. He's not going to do Giants. He do Giants, that's the last resort. But Pittsburgh, the thing why I don't think Aaron will want to go to Pittsburgh because that Pat McAfee show once a week, that's out of there. He's going to have to change a lot and do a lot of different stuff with Tomlin. I don't know if A-Rod at this age of his career, like you said, once you get to that pinnacle and you got your ways set, I don't know if he's going to be able to go, him and Tomlin will be able to click.
So you think with the Vikings he gets away with being more of Aaron Rodgers?
Exactly. And a better system, too. I mean, O'Connell's drawing up some stuff.
Will you take a
and
pay
they got
cut,
Justin
though?
Jefferson. Yeah, he definitely
He'll take a
will.
pay cut to go to Minnesota.
His career, I think he will.
Be Brett Favre Jr. He's just gonna follow. He's just gonna follow.
Oh,
him
I
all
wasn't
the way
even
around.
thinking about
He's
that,
just gonna
Buck.
do his whole career. He's
You
gonna
right.
go Green Bay, New York, Minnesota.
Damn, Buck, I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah,
He's gonna be Brett Favre Jr.
Thinking about that, yeah.
Aaron
Damn, I was
Rodgers,
not thinking about that. You were right,
Aaron Rodgers need to bring his ass right here.
Where?
Buck.
To the couch.
And do what?
Sit with us. Watch TV.
He played too well at the end of that year. And he's coming off of Achilles.
Ain't no way he can do
He's
that,
coming
though,
off of
Buck.
Achilles.
He's coming off of Achilles, and he played well at the latter
And
part of
he's
the
getting
year.
older,
Don't do
though.
that.
'Cause he'll
Dog, he
follow.
was like top 10 in touchdowns.
In 6 weeks, that don't count, though. You got to do that for 17 weeks. You didn't do it for 17 weeks for 2 years.
Like, no, we're not gonna ball wash Aaron Rodgers that he played well. He sucked last year. They sucked. No, it's over.
He played well for
It
6
ain't
games.
over.
It's over.
You coming
dog.
off of Achilles, it ain't over. You get 2 years.
He's 40 plus.
And
It's over.
I'm with you, Bucky. I almost
mean,
feel like
sit
we could see
down.
Aaron. We could be talking about this and see Aaron Rodgers not on any team next year.
Nah, he's gonna be on the team.
Hey, he's Muhammad Ali with the
I
mustache.
think for sure he's
I
gonna
think
be
it's
on the
over.
team.
Minnesota.
Okay, let me ask you guys this.
It's over, dog.
Do you think A-Rod would be a backup?
He's not gonna be a backup.
Okay, so that means there's only so many teams he can go to then.
That's why I retired, because I wasn't gonna be a
for a
backup.
completely different reason. I just feel like in Minnesota he could hide a little bit because he stunk it up last year.
Hide. Them
Because
suckers won 14 games.
I'm saying New York media, like his image right now is not great.
Terrible.
The way he's coming off the Jets and the New York media with the Giants, whether they good or not, I just think
What is it,
he needs to go-
1996? Media
Everything's
doesn't matter
national.
in
Everything is
market.
national.
I don't think he's
Who
gonna
gets
go.
the most media? Dallas, Kansas City? That ain't no
I don't
major
think he's gonna
market.
go to
Giants get big
Minnesota because of what. Simply on what Bucky said, he's gonna be following Brett Favre. Whole
I
route.
don't know if it's
Now that I know that,
gonna
I don't
get
think
the
he's
same
going to Minnesota
attention.
at all.
If you got Justin Jefferson as a wide receiver, you're gonna be expected to perform.
There's just too
Period.
many
He gets
variables,
expected to
though.
And you don't think
Anywhere.
he can?
I don't know.
Y'all think he's done?
I think
don't
Justin's
know.
going to have a little say so on this too. I would if I was a star receiver. I'd be like, hey, hold on, do I
time
want
to hand it out.
If we would have already heard, Justin would have called A-Rod. If Justin really wanted A-Rod, he would have been already calling A-Rod.
Well, you know he hasn't, and it hasn't
We would have
been.
heard. We would have heard already.
Nah.
The way the free agents talk
I think
nowadays.
they too major. I think they both too major to try and step in it. I think that they're smart enough. Look, Aaron Rodgers knows he's got a little toothpaste left, and he got to apply it properly. You know, you've been on that hotel trip. You're like, damn, I don't want to call downstairs. Let me get this last little part out, right? And then you got Justin Jefferson like, dog, I do not want to trick off my career. Devontae Adams followed you, and look how that turned out. Who was the young guy that they had there?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Got demoted. I
Demoted.
got demoted for the old dude.
Yeah, all bad. But I see Aaron still having enough to do it. You ball till you fall.
Let me
Enough-
ask you
okay,
this.
but-
let me ask
but,
you this: do you go out on top? Because if he has another terrible season, his legacy diminishes. Versus us talking about, you know what? He had one bad season. He had an Achilles injury. He came back, had a bad season. He was still a great quarterback. He needs to be up here on this
but
wall.
it's not one bad season. That last season in Green Bay.
He
got
to New York.
He hasn't played well in a long time.
He has another one.
He didn't have a 300-yard game for like almost 3 years, and then he finally had some this year.
If he has another one, the conversation changes.
I'm not a legacy player because I wasn't great enough at the NFL level, so I ain't give a fuck what y'all thought about me. I'll just like Shannon Sharp told me my rookie year, he was blocking the hell out of me in Denver. He said, "You tripping? You too mad?" I was like, "Damn!" Came back the next play, blocked me some more. He said, "It's just about the M&Ms." I was like, "What?" Came back the next play, blocked me some more. Money and memories, stack them up, youngster. Stop tripping. So
Shannon's putting them hands on you.
Oh, he was putting the paws on you.
Young muscles too. He must have been. He must have been.
Hey, you talking about all them double team? That wasn't no double team right there. That was mono.
Looking like a Dorito bag.
First of all, they won back-to-backs. They won back-to-backs for TD, John Elway, and
that's how you know you're getting blocked. That mother talking to you while you blocking. Hey, I don't know. I ever talked to somebody while I was blocking them. He talking to you while you blocking.
M&M's, Skittles.
I'm being real. Like
Snickers.
he like, hey, what you doing tomorrow night, nigga? I wasn't a legacy player. I just wanted the ball until I didn't want to ball no more. I didn't even think about how the world was going to respond to me based on that. Did y'all have that conversation?
No. Or I had the conversation. Like my last year, I didn't want to be a backup. So my pride kind of took you into.
Oh, so you was a little too rich for your own.
I want, and the backup money. I didn't want to. I felt like my price tag was more than what it was.
What numbers we talking about at that time?
I was still trying to get 5, man.
And what were they giving you?
They was offering minimum and 3.
Minimum.
Well, how much?
3 was most I had from Buffalo to be swing, and I'm so mad I didn't take it. That's when
you turned down 3 because you wanted 5 and ended up with none.
I wanted to start. I wanted to wait. Oh, he was so mad at me. I wanted to wait. It was my decision too. I wanted to wait to see if I could get a starting spot. You know, and then I was going through custody stuff with the thing, and I ended up not even.
Oh, you were distracted.
I ended up not playing, but Buffalo ended up going to the AFC Championship that year. I could have, and they tackle stay healthy the whole year. I would have been just sitting there with my coat on the sideline, collecting that 3. I was so mad though, but my agent was really mad at me about that too, and I did hold out because I was going through the custody thing and my pride. I wanted to start my last year because I knew that was going to be my last year.
You know who Devin the Dude is? You ever heard that song?
Yeah, my dog.
You remember that song? He said, "Don't give up for show for some mo. You end up with no."
But everything ended up going good because I ended up winning custody of my kids, and I had them.
That ain't got nothing to do with this. Hell, motherfucker, like, oh, you know what happened?
No, but if I was in Buffalo, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't have had
I wouldn't because the case got decided during the season. You feel me? So I would have been gone. It would have been tough.
The question is, was you gonna watch film that last year? Like,
it wouldn't have been that long.
He would have been able to.
Hey, it wouldn't have been that long.
He'd have been able to.
It wouldn't have been that long if I was a backup too.
So everybody, it sounds like this is a rumor consensus that Aaron Rodgers need to chill out. Like it's over.
I think.
Well, the perfect situation's not out there for him, and I think that's what he's gonna. I think A-Rod's expecting the perfect scenario, but it's not gonna be out there.
Do you think he'll wait? And
he has to wait.
Be during the season, somebody gets hurt.
Oh, that's even worse.
I want to get y'all opinion. I don't think he would. If he's not on opening day, I think he's gonna.
Well, every player says they retire or they're not going to play this season until it's week 11 or week 12, and it's a playoff team, and they call you, and you go be the starter, and you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Oh, you going back?
Yeah,
I got called too.
Everybody gets called.
Oh,
everybody got called at the end of that year too. I stopped working out after Thanksgiving.
Stop working out.
Hold on, that's no.
You stopped working out before Thanksgiving.
I'm about to say
Stop
the way
playing.
you looking.
Stop playing. You was not working out
I'm 5 years retired. The way I'm looking now, still.
Shut up, man. Too. I've been knowing you for a minute.
Hey, but nah. Different. And Kansas City called me.
Okay,
Kansas City
so
called my agent.
They called you and you stopped Thanksgiving.
And you
when
said
did
no?
they call you?
They called, huh?
You said no?
Oh, my agent told him no. It was over with. I was done.
I got the same story. The New York Giants called me in the summer, and I was like, mentally, I was done, and my knee was a little sore. I was like, this is a sign, and I didn't, and I didn't go. They won the Super Bowl that year
before the season though, when they had those tackles.
Could have gone out there, got on tape.
I know. My knee.
I wasn't thinking like that, Bucky.
You go back and take that little.
Hell yeah, I'll be a Super Bowl champion without doing nothing.
I wasn't thinking like that, Bucky.
Nah, you ain't thinking like that.
They were on the run. They went to the Super Bowl that year. That's the year they had those tackles.
Damn.
And they lost.
I love your stories, dog.
But
Because
shit.
you always the hero in these stories. That's the best part about
I'm
your
not a
story.
hero. They lost.
No, you got you got your kid.
Oh, I do have my kid.
Yeah.
I'm about to go there in a little bit and get some cake for that birthday.
No, I know you're going to get some cakes. Oh, we know you're going to get some cake. You're going to leave here hella early to get some cake.
I'm glad I learned today. Today I learned that Donald Penn is the film guru. He studies film in the sauna.
First in, last out. I ain't never in the sauna. This motherfucker. All right, everybody got to open up their. Everybody got to open up their picture.
I never got in the steam or the sun on Saturday, so I didn't say that.
Oh, used to. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, open up your app. We got to look at this. There's an era of basketball that we got to say which one is the best. Let me set it up. So there's 5 eras. They're gonna go Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, Baby Boomers, and Silent Generation. Let's just be real. I don't know the designations of this. I think OG Richie does, so he'll break it down. But in these generations, and I'm gonna post this with our episode so people can see. I don't even know who's in the Richie. This is your era. Silent Generation. Who them dudes? Kareem,
Wilt Chamberlain,
Bill Russell, Wilt.
Oscar, Robert.
Okay, I do know. You're right. All right, so that's the Silent Generation. Let's say it cleanly. So we got Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robinson, Jerry West, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
All right, that era versus all these other eras. Baby Boomers is Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Larry Bird.
I like that one.
All right, they got to go against the Gen X, which is Kobe, Tim Duncan. I'm about to say Tim Dwight. Kevin Garnett, Shaq, and Allen Iverson.
Those are 2 tough ones.
Jesus, it got to go against the Millennials, which is Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jokic, and James Harden, who got to go against the Gen Z, which is Jason Tatum, y'all stupid, SGA, Shea Gilgeous, Wemby, Anthony Edwards, and Luka. Who's the best? Oh, Terry, you first.
I gotta go with the baby boomers. I mean, come on, that's Jordan, Hakeem, Magic, Barkley, and Bird. Come on now, like I think the second one would probably be Gen X, but I'm not sleeping on the millennials either though, because
you just gonna name them all?
No, I said the best was. I said the best, but I'm giving you the order.
Okay. Give me a reason why the baby boomers wins, because look. That's a lot.
That Gen X
the
is
matchup.
tough.
Charles Barkley is a weak link on that.
Nobody in baby.
Who shouldn't be on
Gen
there?
X.
Barkley shouldn't be on.
Charles Barkley, the best.
Can we stick with what this here
I'll
first?
put Karl Malone over
boomers.
Charles.
This is confusing enough. We do not need to add
Simple
anybody.
answer: nobody in the baby boomers list can be stopped by anybody.
Yeah,
on
Charles
there.
Barkley can be
He
stopped.
cannot.
Put Karl Malone over Charles Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
By who?
Who's gonna stop
Who's
him?
going to stop
He was
Shaq?
only 6'4".
And did you see what he was
Who's
doing?
going to stop
I
Shaq?
Nobody
saw it.
stopped him.
Who's stopping
ever.
Shaq?
Nobody stopped Charles
Who's
Barkley
stopping
ever.
Shaq?
And he was
Kobe
6'4".
could stop
Hakeem.
Charles Barkley.
No, come on, come on.
No,
now.
he couldn't.
Shaq?
No, he
Going
couldn't.
to Shaq?
There were 6'9" power
That
forwards
is
back
true.
then who couldn't
Kevin
stop.
Garnett.
He caught young
Gen
Shaq.
X. I'm going with Gen X.
you tripping, Rich?
Gen X.
Let's stay focused on
Okay,
the.
let's go to Just Blaze first, because we're gonna have 19 conversations on this. Who you got, Jet?
Oh, the
Just-
baby boomers. It's not even close to.
It's not close.
No. I mean, if there was anybody that was close, it would be Gen X.
Yeah.
Outside of that is
Kobe,
Tim Duncan.
KG.
What's the
Shaq.
best matchup and what's the worst matchup? Which one scares you? You
Jordan-
coaching the baby boomers. You're sitting there like, I got a problem right here.
Jordan
X?
versus Kobe.
Gen X?
That's the toughest matchup for you.
I
Kobe
think so.
can
I don't think
And
Gen Z's not beating nobody.
Kobe can hang with him.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
mean, we've
best-
seen them. We've seen them play against each other.
Honest,
Let
Gen
him-
Z's
wait,
not
wait,
that
wait,
bad.
wait, wait,
One
wait,
at a
let
time.
him
One
go,
at a
let him
time. What's your best matchup?
My
Like
best
the one,
matchup
I'm not
is
talking to you,
go.
Donald. I'm not talking to you,
No, I'm
Donald.
saying that was the
Oh,
best
I thought it was
matchup.
open for
The best
everybody.
matchup was Jordan and Kobe.
Jordan and Kobe's your
The-
best
the
matchup?
best matchup.
What's your worst matchup?
Man, you talking about between Gen X or just? I'm saying Gen. Are we still talking about?
Nigga,
Gen
one
he
of
X?
your
said
ass
the
don't
same thing you
coach.
talking about.
I said, which one's going? You go like, I got buckets here in this one. We better look
No,
out.
because I'm saying the two that are close to each other is Gen X and Baby Boom.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm asking, are you saying the worst matchup between them two or the whole?
No,
anywhere?
I'm staying with those
Anywhere.
two. Yeah, it's okay. I know you didn't go to bed.
I
last
think
night.
Magic and Iverson. That's a bad matchup.
All them bad knees from Magic.
Yeah, I'm
One-
putting
one
Kobe
shake
on. I'm
and
putting
it's
Kobe
over
on
with.
Magic and AI on.
But they
Jordan.
wouldn't
That's
guard
still a
each
bad
other.
matchup because Jordan gonna post AI up all day.
Yeah. Who's
AI
guard? Well,
AI wouldn't guard Magic. if they were playing.
AI ain't guarding nobody on this team.
He would have to.
AI is not guarding no baby.
It goes
boomer.
both ways. It goes both ways.
That's why
with that
baby
one.
boomers
Who you
is
got,
the clear
Donald?
answer.
Who you got, DPG?
I like Gen X. I like Gen X, man. Kobe, Tim Duncan being able to bring the big out to the 3-point line.
He just proved that wrong.
Reed shot that bank shot from like
Man,
you ain't doing that on
that.
you ain't doing
that
that on
high-low
King.
game
But
with him
who
and Shaq.
Iverson going guard? He
That
just
high-low
proved that.
game with him and Shaq, that's gonna be tough.
Who's your best player, Gen X?
Kobe,
Who's your worst player?
KG.
KG. Who's your best baby boomer?
player?
Jordan. Who's the worst?
Baby Booner, Jordan, and
Larry.
I have to go with Charles. That's
Larry.
the worst.
Oh, crazy.
Larry.
Good bag
Who
or
would you
bad
say?
bag?
I'd say Larry.
Yeah.
On this list is Barkley. Damn. And that's saying a lot.
That's saying a
lot.
I like Barkley too.
I love Barkley.
Nah, I'm gonna say Larry.
Big Barkley.
What about silent generation, best and worst? Kareem the best?
I think they're the best.
Silent.
They got 3 bigs. Who's dealing with
And
Will?
How they gonna get up the court?
Yeah.
Who's dealing with it? Look, Oscar Robertson is a triple-double machine.
Oh, I know.
Triple-double
Not-
machine. You
not-
got
not
the
versus
logo.
Michael.
You got the
don't think
logo
Magic can
shooting.
guard
Russell Westbrook, but
You
he
got
ain't
the
on the list.
logo shooting.
That was also a different era.
Bill Russell was not an offensive player. Kareem didn't
we
get
don't
up the court much at the end.
Who's stopping
this
this
is a-
guy?
Who's
stopping Hakeem?
Who's stopping
I'm
stopping
playing.
Hakeem?
I'm playing. I'm playing.
Who's stopping the dream?
If I can get Wilt to the arena, if he ain't laying up, like
I'm putting KG or Duncan on Hakeem.
Nah, Gen X bigs are the best.
So this
Dream
is the
is cooking
problem with
everybody.
sports media right now. Not one of us, and I haven't went yet, but none of y'all, Gen Z and millennials, y'all ain't even gave them a mention.
Nah.
Because
Why?
we
it
got
has
eyes.
nothing. It has nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the talent. It's just what the brand they put on the court is a softer and we don't care attitude about this sport. Like
It's talent. For me, it's all about the talent.
because if you're talking about you think that James Harden cares
Bucket.
but right, but does
Bucket.
he really?
Second most threes ever.
bucket.
Nobody would ever pick him to
Chef
win a
Curry.
championship.
Chef
Nobody
Curry.
in this room would take him over to win a
I
championship.
am a fan of the Clippers, and I am saying he can win a championship. What do you mean?
That's why y'all ain't
You
won
did
one.
say
And
that.
ain't
You
gonna
always
win
said
one.
that.
You
It
just
doesn't matter
said
who is
that.
on the team.
You just
won.
said it. Shit. You said it.
You ain't
Y'all
won
see
one.
how his voice trailed off.
With his
Hey, I'm pleading as a fan of the Clippers.
season ticket holder.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw this list, I thought that the millennials was it.
No way.
Really, because I was
did
like,
not think that.
You're
the
not
best
tough.
player.
You're not tough enough though. If you're talking about this whole thing's about a 7-game
Jokic?
championship series, right? That's what we're talking about. NBA 7-game championship series. None of them dudes are we're gonna say they're tough enough mentally to win versus these dudes.
Steph Curry
down.
ain't tough mentally.
I agree, Steph.
Marcellus.
Is.
He
I'm
trolling.
saying as a group.
He trolling over here.
LeBron, hold on. Who's my
Trolling.
favorite player ever? Not the best, but my favorite. KD. He on that squad. LeBron is the GOAT. Then you got
He's
Steph
not the
Curry.
GOAT, first of
Okay,
all.
he's second. I don't argue. I don't go to barbershops.
Jordan,
So then you got Steph
No.
Curry. You got Jokic. You got Jokic, who is playing his best
No one
ball
can stop
ever.
Jokic.
And he is a 3-time MVP or three. And James Harden, who is second
Buckets.
in 3 buckets.
And you-
KD better than between KD and the baby boomers? Who's he better than?
Barkley.
You gotta play
Outscoring.
defense,
KD?
and you're not outscoring them.
I don't know about that.
Are we hand checking?
I don't know about
We
that.
can't hand check.
He's not
better than
regarded-
Magic.
He's not regarded higher than Larry
We
Bird.
gonna give you an elbow and we gonna be
He is better
done.
than
We
Magic.
gonna give you an elbow. You gonna be off to the
He's
side.
not regarded higher than Larry Bird. But look, if you put KD on the court and said Larry Bird beat him, good luck.
Different
You
eras.
say, I know it's a different conversation, but you say I got to look. I'm drafting. I got to go one-on-ones. Barkley, get out of here. And Larry Bird. This is respect. Magic. Okay.
No, Magic's not beating him.
Exactly. KD.
Not
is
beating
He's
who?
walking him down.
No, he's not.
No.
KD is
Magic
7
was
feet
Magic
tall.
was
Yeah, he's-
unstoppable.
Hakeem and Jordan.
Magic was
KD is-
unstoppable.
KD is-
Magic is backing him down the whole court.
Magic go inside and
And doing this.
outside,
It's
and
not.
it looked
Laying
raggedy
him
because
up,
he
doing
was
everything.
older.
Raggedy game.
Hey man, everybody better look at that millennial list a
Raggedy
little
looking.
Millennials
closer.
are trash,
pleasing.
nigga.
Thank
The
you, Magic.
millennials,
Magic.
millennials can hang with all of those.
Aesthetically pleasing. It was raggedy.
No, don't do
I
that.
played with him at sports club.
Magic
I
was
seen it.
Yeah, he was
I seen it.
57.
It don't matter. That's my impression. I've seen it.
Yeah, 65.
Okay, we're going to go around. Bucky ain't right. You catch the man slipping when he's 58 years old at the sports club.
He's a sports club.
Oh, I know. I've seen him.
He was still
I want you to
still
say
giving you
your
buckets.
team And how many games and who would you be playing? Let's go through that right quick. I know Just Blaze is always ready. Who y'all playing and how many games y'all gonna need to beat them?
What team are we playing on here? Because I'm taking baby boomers. I said it. That's why I'm like,
who you playing?
What team are you playing? If you
God,
have the baby
Lee.
boomers, who are you playing?
that question is broad. You got to be more specific.
Just go ahead and
Who
answer.
y'all
Just-
playing is not specific enough.
If I'm the baby boomers, who am I playing?
He knows.
That's what I'm asking.
He knows.
I take the millennials over Gen X.
Yep.
And we would beat them in 7.
Okay.
So Steph.
What happened to your
LeBron,
silent generation? You were just joking.
I mean, y'all won't take me seriously, but the silent generation.
When has James Harden showed up in a game 7?
Any and
Come on,
everybody.
dog. When has James Harden showed up in game 7?
We don't need him. Sure, he just got to take the ball out.
Okay.
All right, who you got,
now
DPG?
you're playing with 4.
DPG.
Now you're
Who
playing
was
with
the
4.
finals and you got winning? Who's the finals? Who you got winning? How many games?
I got the baby boomers over the Gen X in the sweep.
Damn, not a sweep.
No, over Gen Z with a sweep. My bad.
All right,
Sorry.
who you got, Hatch?
I got the baby.
So that means you're saying
over Gen Z
is
with a
better than
sweat.
Gen X.
Huh?
That means you're saying Z is better
No.
than X. Yeah. Because you said finals.
Play the tournament.
Oh,
This is why you don't need to be first in, last out. Not everybody, because some people get shit quick. I used to hate a meeting coach going over to play for the 5th time. Like, what the fuck is this?
I got to redo that one. Thank you, OG.
Stunt right, man.
Hey, OG, thank you, man.
You're right. You're right.
It's right or left, nigga. It's right or left.
Liz.
I'm gonna take Gen X over
First team
Gen
offense.
X over the
you on
baby
first
boomers.
team? Oh, what you mean?
Over the baby boomers.
All right, who you got, Hatch?
So I'm taking the baby boomers over Gen X in 7. 3 seconds on the clock. Jordan versus Kobe. And in this whole 7 games, there will be blood.
Ooh, that's
For
beautiful.
sure.
Now that's how you supposed
We
to
need
do it.
animation
Who you
with
got,
that.
Carver?
Yeah, that was good, Hatch.
I'm taking Gen X versus
Smoke my
baby
shit.
boomers. I think Gen X is going to pull it out in 6. I think the defense is there. I think we got more bigs. I think Shaq is going to be dominant. And, who's that? Charles Barkley or Elijah One's going to foul out. And then it's gonna be a wrap after that. And then you got AI and Kobe leading defense out in the wings, and it's gonna be one-sided. I think it's gonna be decisive in the 6.
All right. Who you got, John? John on his phone. John takes
John fell
stocks.
asleep.
I got millennials over boomers. Millennials got the 3-point shot. They also got the speed and the agility. The boomers, they have the big guys inside, but they can't move quick enough to get the rebounds from the 3-point land. So
Millennials. I
they're
told
taking
y'all
it.
the millennials got a squad. Who you got, Terry?
I got boomers over Gen X in 7. I think it's going to come down to basketball IQ and taking smart shots. And I think the boomers got that very much more because they got Gen X has AI.
What
He likes
did
a
you
gun.
just say?
Gen X has AI. He likes a gun a lot.
That's fine. I understand.
They got very much more.
Sometimes Garnett didn't show up in the big games.
No, we play through it.
It's a mismatch.
They play through that. All right, remember in elementary when the homies were reading and they were like, all right. We just play through it, dog. We just keep playing through it. Just keep playing through it.
Hey, Bucky, in church,
When you saw Nigeria and you were Nigeria,
Hold on.
hey, flag, we got a flag.
You know,
Bucky, in church, they would be like, take your time.
Take your time, baby.
Take your time. Take your time.
you know, Marcel was turning around calling them out. What was that? I can see you. Yeah, Marcel. Yeah, I can see Marcel. Hey, I know you can do better than that.
Everybody now wanted to read it.
use your vowels. It says aisle 6.
Hey, you want me to do it? You want me to do it?
Weren't we all thinking it, but
God so loved the world.
Everybody been in elementary. When everyone look back there like,
everybody like, the whole class like, dang, dog.
Hey, no, you know it's bad when we don't
Chef
look.
Daz. Chef Daz, who you go?
I'm
No, you're going
actually-
last, Justin, because you don't understand the question. So
I'm
you're going
actually,
last.
you know what? I'm actually going to switch. And I'm looking at it closely, and I just switched at this moment. I'm taking Gen X over baby boomers.
Slap yourself.
And I tell you why. Nobody can stop Shaq. Shaq is dominant. Kobe going to go on a tear. KD,
he gonna shoot him out of it. Ain't nobody else
KG,
gonna touch the ball.
nobody can stop Shaq, and Allen Iverson's going to go on a tear. Who going to hold Iverson?
Michael Jordan.
No, he's not.
He's the same dude who held everybody.
All right, Triple OG, who you got?
Well, we already know
Magic.
that Iverson can't carry a team to a championship. We saw that in real life.
Are we gonna do this with the fantasy team?
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah, you got to take everything into the.
He went to the final.
Yeah, but they
got beat 4-1.
Gentlemen swept.
Yeah, they did.
So he had one shining moment. He stepped over it.
Played the Lakers.
I'm going to take the Millennials over Gen X in the finals, and I think the Millennials would beat the Baby Boomers in the semifinals.
Trash.
And I think at peak, everybody on the Millennials cannot be stopped.
Yes.
Leading with Joker. James Harden can get foul trouble on anybody. He makes his shots. LeBron is a wrecking ball. Steph Curry's the best. Steph Curry's the best.
Where the game's being held at?
It don't matter.
In Chicago.
It don't matter.
Where they
United
film,
Center.
Where they film Space Jam? Where they film Space Jam? Wherever the hell that's.
You got Harden and Steph, no defense.
What do you mean? We got LeBron.
You got Harden. You got two people that can't play
we got
defense on none of
LeBron.
them.
We got LeBron
He
and
ain't
Jokic.
He ain't
You
argue
got
your pick like
LeBron
this,
and
Hatch. He
Jokic.
didn't do this to you,
He
Hatch.
shouldn't have. That's why.
Jokic just had a 30-20-20 game. What are y'all talking
Still
about?
ain't stopping Shaq.
Stop it. Stop it. 30, 21, and 22.
So you're saying none of these dudes had 30, 21, and 22
Okay.
when
Yes,
they played? They
yes.
all did.
No,
nigga.
they didn't.
Yes,
It's
they
never
did.
been done
First
before.
time, like ever, I think.
It's never been done before, Hatch.
Hatch, once again.
Literally.
Nope.
It's so
Nope.
literally.
Hey,
I mean
Hatch,
literally.
It has
It's time to call Hatch out. I'm tired of asking Hatch a question, and he thinks through the question like he prepared for it, but really he just talking through it because he don't know. Right. And your ass just got caught again.
It's never happened.
He was like, well, I don't know about the Vikings because, and then
I hate y'all.
Pittsburgh. What, bitch? Did you not know before? Too. He do a great job of it. I just had to
So
come
that's
out.
why.
All right, everybody get quiet because Justin is hurt.
It's called
He
defense.
mad because we ain't go to Mr. Basketball first, but you didn't understand the question. Look at his shoulders. You see how his shoulders got? Oh,
Hey,
I said I just chill, let everybody get this up because I'm gonna give you the right answer.
okay, let's go, son. What's the right answer?
There's only one answer, and it's baby boomers are gonna beat Gen X in 6 games, and here's why. You say nobody can stop Shaq. Who's stopping the dream? Because
Nobody's stopping the
I
dream.
saw what the dream did to Shaq.
That was young Shaq, but you
It don't matter. It was Shaq.
You're right.
It was Shaq.
You're right.
Another thing about the baby boomers is everybody on there has multiple championships except for Barkley, and he couldn't get his because he had to go against Jordan. And Jordan is dominating any and everybody on his list.
Facts on
so,
facts.
So there's nobody here has a chance of beating
Baby
baby boomers. It's not even close. And anybody who said Gen X, as good as Iverson is, we already know he can't stop nobody on baby boomers.
small.
So he's going to be, it's a mouse in the house all day. No matter who has the ball, they're going to call AI out, and it's all day.
Wow,
Who's stopping baby boomers?
Gen X is the second best team, though.
Yeah, they're
to
the
you.
second best.
I agree.
Okay, I love the fact that Millennial got a lot more love than I expected because that's my favorite team. But your argument convinced me. Like, if we really being real in those moments, in those eras when they all were out there playing, I don't think there's more peak basketball than when the baby boomers were going. Like,
Mike got 6.
Think
Larry
about that.
got 4.
Jordan,
Magic got 5.
6,
Hakeem got
5,
2.
Bird
2.
got 3.
Bird got.
I thought he had 4.
4? Bird
He's
got
4. Bird got 4.
You got 3.
Magic
3,
got 5. Akeem got
Magic got 5.
Yeah, but add those all up and you got what Bill Russell got. So
Yeah, but they ain't got no guards either. They ain't got nobody that can bring the ball up. So it's over
Jerry
for that.
West bring the ball up.
Oscar and
Robinson
Jerry?
and Jerry West.
Oscar Robinson is gonna get his boots smoked by Mike.
All right, who's the best player on here?
Come on.
Who's the best player on here and who's the worst player on here? And let's get out.
Michael Jordan, the best.
Jordan and Harden.
Harden?
No,
Yeah.
Jerry
up on the
West?
Gen Z.
Oscar Robertson?
I looked at Gen Z.
That's not fair for Gen Z. They just
Yeah, they
getting
don't have
started.
enough time
You
in the
can't do
game.
that with
Yeah, I
Gen
didn't
Z.
really count them like
Yeah.
that.
So who you got?
I
I'm
said
going
Jordan and Harden.
You really believe Harden the worst player on
Out
here?
of this list, like
There's nothing that put James Harden in the same
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm not
as
putting
none of
over
these
anybody
dudes on
here.
Nothing.
Jordan-
If you can,
Jordan-
except
Jordan Harden.
you got a step back 3 and you can score 30 points in your prime.
Who
I
got the
get
most threes in history?
Steph.
Who got second?
Harden.
Huh?
But that don't mean
That don't mean you. That
Who
don't
got
mean
this?
nothing.
You got the handle right here.
Steph, AI.
Harden lead the league in assists or was top 2.
Y'all forget he was averaging 40 for like 40 months in a
40
row.
shots.
and he's never
He took
showed
40
up in a
shots.
game 7.
Remember,
Second
AI
round,
did that too.
Second round exit.
Always.
Never showed up.
Hey, if we're gonna
past
talk
game
about
5.
40,
Jerry
if we're gonna
West
talk
is
about
better
40,
than,
Wilt Chamberlain's the only one that averaged
Jerry
50.
West is the logo.
True.
So
Jerry
Okay.
West is the logo. He's
All right,
special.
now here's my last one. I'm
He
gonna go to
was
Mr. Basketballs first. Terry
thought you
and
asked me
Just
already.
Blaze.
Right. I lost my flag, guys. Basketball.
You see basketballs. Give me your error. Blend all these errors. You can move them around. Give me your top 5. I want everybody's top 5
players.
Yeah, you just got
So
a team.
you want
A team that can beat any of these errors.
Okay.
You can move. Yeah, you can grab anybody.
I'm keeping the baby boomers. I'm just swapping out Barkley for Tim Duncan.
Wow, impressive.
Okay. Who else we got?
I'm gonna go with Jordan, Magic, Bird, Shaq, and oh my goodness.
We're gonna beat you. What you got?
I just want to say this because I just thought about this.
They're disrespectful.
One thing about the baby boomers, everybody on baby boomers carried their team to a championship.
Okay, this is a new conversation, though.
No, because he
But
just,
it's a new conversation.
Right.
Except Barkley. Right?
Everybody
Right,
knows
outside
LeBron
of-
James is on this list,
But-
right?
No,
I was
he's
swapping
not.
out.
No.
He didn't carry. Who did he carry?
Like it's so disrespectful. Like what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Top 5?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Everybody does know he's on this
If you
list.
need a bucket, you got Bird and LeBron on the team. Who you
I'm taking
going to?
Bird.
LeBron.
Bird. I'm taking Bird.
LeBron.
Bird all
Y'all
day.
crazy.
You out
Y'all
your mind.
crazy. LeBron. You need a bucket.
Over
LeBron.
Larry Bird
Give me
sure.
Bird. You out your
for
mind.
scoring. You talking
LeBron.
about scoring?
Just a score? Just a 2 points?
Yeah,
Last 2
LeBron.
minutes
Give
of
me
the game.
Bird.
Who you getting the ball?
I'm taking Larry Bird all day.
Y'all know who
crazy.
Larry Bird is?
Crazy.
Y'all crazy.
Okay.
Your bias comes through.
I get the bias and I get it. We're not gonna come to any
Larry
kind of.
Bird
it's
is
gotta be
laid
Jordan,
over there
Kobe,
right now
LeBron.
on his tummy with the heating pack
Okay,
on his back.
let me
Not
ask
young
you
Larry, though.
I said a bucket, not a 3. A bucket.
Wait. You think Larry only shot threes?
Let me ask you
But
this.
still, LeBron is getting to the rack anytime he wants to.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. In the first 5 years of LeBron's career, would you take that guy over? Hold on.
Whoa,
Hold
let him
on.
cook. Let him cook.
That's
Let
not
him
the
cook.
question.
Let him cook.
From the years of 18 to 23, would you take that LeBron if you needed 2 points? Because don't forget,
Over Larry Bird?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do
You
you know
can't
that he
talk
wouldn't even
basketball
shoot the
this
basketball with 3 seconds left? You know he wouldn't
Dude,
even
it doesn't
shoot it.
even matter.
No,
He was-
no. It does matter because if he doesn't shoot it, then he can't make it.
Who didn't
correct?
shoot it?
The first 5 years of his career, remember how he would
couldn't shoot.
always pass the ball for the last.
He didn't shoot threes, but he had field goals, bro. What are you talking about?
With the game on the line. Remember, the game's going, and LeBron would never shoot the ball to end the game. Y'all don't remember this time?
That was his whole. That was
his whole
thing.
thing.
If that's the case, then I wouldn't want Kobe either, because Kobe didn't look good as well.
We're not talking about Kobe. We're talking about
At the
LeBron.
end of the day, LeBron is.
But Kobe's not
I-
in this
y'all-
conversation.
y'all in the weeds.
Kobe not in the conversation.
I was just asking a question.
Okay. Watch this
It
transition.
was a valid question.
Watch this transition. It was a good question. It was a horrible answer, and I think. Let me stop.
So we out.
We gonna get out because we going around in a circle like you do in track and field. Look at this transition as you go around the oval in track and field. We saw a young high school girl runner on a relay with a baton in her hand get passed up by a young lady, and then all of a sudden that young lady crashes out on the infield after being hit in the head. She got concussed. She had a potential skull fracture.
Yeah.
And a lot of conversations about this. There's 2 layers. One, was it done on purpose? And 2, she did that shit on purpose. Let me stop. I don't like the first layer. The first layer when it first happened was like, wow, throw her in jail for the rest of her life, assault and all that. But then it got a little more nuanced. Did she even try to do it? So I'm going to go to Mr. Track and Field right here. Triple OG, what you think of this story?
Hell yeah, she tried to do it.
I'm with you.
That's an absolute 100% fact.
100.
100.
I'm with you.
We can't go over 100%. She absolutely did it. And young lady, just say you're sorry. Just say you weren't thinking in the moment or you thought wrong. Just say you did something that you should not have done, and the world will forgive you. You're young. We will forgive you.
But she's been sitting with her parents in these interviews. So.
Yeah, her parents are lying too if they think that she didn't do it.
Okay, Stephen A. You coming at somebody daddy.
They gonna come see you now. They gonna come see you.
Okay, I would tell them to their face. If you think that your daughter didn't do that on purpose,
You never been.
you are lying to yourself.
You never been at the end of never at the end of the fourth.
You know I have.
The monkey get on your back.
They had 200 meters left.
You blacked out. You never just been the monkey jump on your back.
They had 200 meters left.
You never had the monkey. You never had the monkey on your back, and your head is wobbling.
Bucky, you and I have sat through way too many track meets together. You know how it changes as the levels go. This is a state finals.
Yeah.
This wasn't some all-comers track meet at the park.
Right.
These are 400 runners. If you're a 400 runner, you're a 400 runner.
Thank you.
Your arms aren't coming up like this
Hers
to
did.
hit somebody else in the head. It just doesn't work that way.
Have you ever seen this before?
I've seen stuff happen to our team in the state 4x100 finals.
I've seen people trip.
I've seen people
throw. I've seen people throw the baton.
I saw there was a girl who my daughter was getting the first handoff in the state semifinals. The fastest runner in the state reached her arm into my daughter's arms to try to knock the baton out of her hand.
Fumble.
In the state finals,
Smart.
girl from Poly, my daughter's waiting for the baton. The girl runs into her lane, hits her, and spun her all the way like this, ponytail flying.
Damn.
The whole crowd went woo. And the judges were like, the judges were looking at the girl who had reached her arm in the day before in the semis.
Yeah.
They didn't see the girl run into my daughter, and they wouldn't take the video evidence.
Damn. So that's why they finished fourth?
They finished fourth in state.
You know what? See, Terry knows his recalls.
You had to call back.
No, I didn't. But they did. They had been undefeated.
Fourth place killer.
They had been undefeated. They had been undefeated in state the whole year.
Damn.
Nobody was even close to them. No one.
So who thinks this is?
I've seen there's young lady, you did it on purpose. Just say you're sorry.
Oh, he did.
But who thinks it's on accident? And I ain't about to say nothing.
I think, and it's not just an accident. It's like when you're in that moment, you kind of black out. So it's probably her. Is it on purpose? As a 17-year-old, they don't think that it's on purpose because I didn't know what I was doing. So she's like, I blacked out. I flashed, and I just
Shut
swung.
that shit. You ain't blackout.
Right. Well, I'm to their version of it.
Under pressure.
Under pressure. You
Right.
get passed
It's
up.
the moment.
The first time you've
It's
ever
the
been
moment.
passed in a
You don't
race.
remember every play that you've ever played.
And I do remember the time I swung my helmet at somebody, which was never.
Right,
You
but
know
there's
what I
a
mean?
lot of people
Don't
that
mess
done
with me.
swung their helmet and they're like, I don't know what happened.
Oh, of course, that's a good story to tell.
And it could be a lie.
It's a
Or
great
they
story to
could have been
tell.
blacked out.
Hey, I ain't mean
know.
that. Do I get a lighter sentence? Do I get a lighter fine?
Then it's-
Are
then
y'all
it-
gonna be nicer to me? Because I mean, you're in high school.
Yeah.
You don't want the rest of your life to have the scarlet letter of B or baton. Like you baton girl. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't.
You just
But there's
baton
no
beater.
way in your running form. She said she got pinned up and the girl was jamming her.
She was in her way.
And then you go from this to this,
Right.
and that.
I'm trying to reach over. I'm trying to engage. I'm just trying to get
She
over
must be
top.
Bucky's cousin.
I'm trying to get over
She a
top.
Brooks. She is a Brooks. So you thought you've been on the fence. You flip flopped. What do you think?
Because I saw two different angles of it.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, it just looked like it was an accident. Like
Accident.
it wasn't. Like
Did
that
she
wasn't
trip?
her intention.
You
She was
really
just
thought the first look was an
Did she
accident?
trip?
I saw
I
two.
thought
I'm
she
saying I
tripped.
saw two different angles of it. The first angle I saw, it just looked like she was in stride and just like
I ain't
a
even
wrong
seen the whack.
movement. Wrong move. Yeah, it just looked like a wrong movement.
Yeah, I
then
saw
I
the
saw
girl
another
fall down.
angle today from where it was like more of like I guess like a side
In the sauna?
and it
Were
looked
you
like
watching film in the
nah,
sauna?
we were sitting here watching it where it looked like she wound up. So it's like
Yeah.
I get both sides of it. It's hard.
I hate when this happens in our world. Where remember that time that there was this dynamic or phenomenon going on where everyone looked at something, you saw different color. What was that? Y'all remember that
the
dress?
dress.
The dress.
Yellow
They-
or pink or
No, it,
Blue or-
it was
yep.
white or blue, but they proved that like a couple weeks ago. It was on Good Morning America that it was blue.
It was blue, but everybody sees it different. And see, I don't know what color I saw because I forget because I blacked out before because I swung helmets.
swung the helmet.
But the point is, who watches that and ever thinks that was, oh, it's just a coincidence that you black out. Oh, it's a coincidence that you swing when you getting passed up.
You hit somebody in the head with a projectile.
Yeah.
That you're holding.
And
in
you're
your
so
hand.
precise that at top speed, you can hand it to someone whose hand is moving. You can do that. But then all of a sudden, I just lost my senses. And now this happens in the
Maybe
same
she got
way.
bumped and was trying to like get the grip back. You know when you run in and somebody bumps and
Terry,
you're trying to go like
your arms never go like this.
Well, she went like this.
Sometimes it depends on if you have the. I was gonna say the top or the bottom of the baton, but I feel like you can give me a
pause.
I feel like you give me.
Let's say your point though.
So
maybe.
That's what I'm saying. So this conversation is very dependent on what you saw first or what angle you saw just in
I saw
general.
a bad angle first where it looked like it was on purpose.
Yeah.
And then I saw the other angle and I was like, oh, maybe she did.
So it's just like in the NBA or in the games when there's a bad call and then it gets challenged, they got to look at it from multiple angles. Because the first time you see it.
Why did your velocity change from this to? Right. And what track runner runs like this? I've seen this little lotion
Marcellus,
little boy in the hood that needs some lotion.
When they
have you ever seen anybody lose form when they like in the last 10 meters of their race?
Lost
They
form.
lose form.
That wasn't the last 10 meters of the race.
They lose form.
She had 80
You
meters
can lose
left.
form
Maybe
at
she
any
didn't
moment.
know the girl was right on her hip pocket.
Yeah,
and
man,
it kind of
you can
it
lose
kind of
form when you
scared
fight for your life. You can lose form.
She didn't know she was on her hip pocket. She saw her and she went, no, boom.
Right. She said she felt her
and
bumping
hit
her.
the girl with her thing.
Come on, man. We
So
all
I got a
ran track.
question because
This is
I know your
silly.
track is your thing, but you're very adamant that she did not do this by accident. You know for a fact she did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So if you feel like that, what would be her reason to do that?
She didn't want to lose.
She
But
didn't want to
she-
lose.
what do you
her.
mean?
She was already losing.
That's my point.
But she didn't want
She
to
didn't wanna
get
get-
that place.
Right.
You want to get fourth place.
Right. So you risk
Nobody wants
everything.
fourth place.
You risk everything.
College scholarships, everything.
You risk everything just to get one place
They weren't
ahead.
scholarship level runners.
Not at that speed.
I mean, you just said they were.
They're moving
I
too
don't
slow.
know.
It was
But
state finals, but they're not scholarship runners.
state finals sounds like
It's a
high
whole lot
up.
of states and-
It just got pressed because
a whole lot of
That state don't count, huh, Rich?
That's a whole lot of states.
I think she had a temporary moment of insanity. I think whatever y'all call blackout. Yeah. Like
right.
there is a moment when you are on the sideline and somebody running by on the kickoff and you know you're about to score and you like, yo, I could trip this dude. Like Mike Tomlin did that. Mike Tomlin was like, yo, but you did it on purpose too. Like we've been in this moment too many times to act like this is just a wild moment that we don't understand. She is trained to be the one that passes someone and getting passed. You know if somebody trying to pass you, widen if you can to a point, don't give up the inside. And you know if you pass somebody, be prepared, they're going to try and do the same. There's no part of the training that says, fuck it. Like
I just
I
don't
feel
see
like there
what
were
the
more
benefit
subtle
was.
ways for her to try to knock her out, or besides trying to hit her in the head. Like, come
Yeah.
on. She's
Yeah.
smart
That's
enough
what I'm
to know that if I hit this girl in the head with the baton, everybody in the world is going to see this, and I'm going to be like blackballed or whatever the case we're doing.
Maybe she
That's
missed
what I
the
said.
shoulder
Was
and
there more
missed it.
subtle ways to bump her out of bounds or to trip her than to try to literally like boom?
But that's what that's the beauty of that.
Daz, she's not Jason Bourne. She's
She
not
doesn't know.
trained on how to
She's a
kill somebody.
17-year-old, right.
Yeah.
She just reacted.
Yeah.
And
As
she
a
reacted
young
the
girl.
wrong
First reaction is
way.
to hit her in the head.
Yes.
Or she
Because
could have
that's
been.
what she did.
Her reaction could be, I'm going to hit her because I am disturbed and pissed. She's passing me and she's been bumping me. And I missed and I hit her in the head. But the same thing is, no matter what you're thinking, you know in this moment, she's responding to something. Like, whether it's the pressure getting passed, whether it's this girl been trying to mess with me.
She's probably like IG, like DM'd her boyfriend or something.
No.
It's gonna be something stupid at the end of the day.
They are
there she go.
17.
I'm pretty sure it was Virginia. Because
It's the pressure.
Nobody went and even apologized. Nobody even said, "Are you okay?" Like that's.
She looked and said, "Oh, let me keep this time going."
And
And
even
let me keep
after
running.
that,
I gotta keep running.
You gotta finish the race.
Yeah, all right, here's the dirtiest thing I ever did, and I did it multiple times, can't lie, but maybe 2 or 3 times. I would get, fumble recovery, we all
At the
fight.
bottom of the pile?
Nothing more gangster
You
than
one
the
of
bottom of the pile.
those dudes.
The
I'm
nut
at the bottom of the pile, I
Nut
grab your
grabber.
gut. I used to call it gut grab. And then I saw meat right here, I would grab it and twist
Gut?
the shit.
That was you?
Yeah.
You sure that was the gut?
I could have went lower.
I got a mark.
I could have went lower.
right here.
I could have went lower.
going on, man?
Well, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Man, might have to have some kids. I would grab it and with your gloves on, oh, it ain't letting go. And he like, hey, what the fuck? You a freak. Or One time I stepped on fingers. You ever get up on the pile? And you like,
Hainsworth.
You're that dude.
Hainsworth.
With the cleats. Oh, what you about?
And
260.
Albert Hainsworth.
270, 280, and I'm a good positive guy. Just like this girl's a good positive girl.
Right.
But your ass went there.
You went there.
It's
That's
a
what I'm
switch.
saying.
We
It's
hit
a
a switch.
switch.
Y'all don't act like you went.
The switch is blacking out though. That's what I'm saying. It's the
No,
same
no,
thing.
I turned it on. It was lights on.
No, yeah, but
I
it's
didn't
the
black
same
it.
thing, though.
Yeah, that's what y'all call blacking out. It's like, nah, fuck that.
You went somewhere else.
It's
I'm
called
going there.
instant
You went
regret.
somewhere else.
Well, she did that shit.
What's the dirtiest play you've ever seen in sports?
Ever seen
Albert Hainsworth.
Easily, no.
Easily. Jim
What's it?
McMahon.
Rudy Thompson.
Give it to me. No.
When
Yeah.
Packers.
Oh no, I got worse than that. Romanowski when he spit on J.J. Stokes.
We still be fighting.
Mike Tyson when
right now.
he bit Evander Holyfield's ear.
Okay.
That's what this was
That's
like.
the worst.
That's what this is like.
This is like-
He just kind of flipped out.
Sports.
By Debo for the Pittsburgh. Remember when it was only said Josh Cribbs got hit, but they called it a dirty. He got fined like
When he
75,000.
decapitated, the
Yeah,
dude was
Debo.
coming across the middle, and Debo was in the flat, and he comes, and he has some. It's a Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
Like he leaves his feet.
He leaves his feet.
That's the
The
yeah.
player
They
that
got-
stepped on the dude's chest in the NBA.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Hines
Was
Ward
that
did that
Draymond?
like 10 times.
Was that
Draymond
Draymond that
kicking
stepped on
people
that dude?
in the
No,
nuts?
stepped on the
Dennis
dude's chest.
Dennis
Stepped on
Rodman.
his chest.
Dennis
He
Rodman kicked the
hustled
dude in the
his
That
nuts.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that was
That wasn't
Draymond.
that bad.
The Dennis.
It was
Played it
pretty
off
funny,
in
though.
motion.
Hold on. No.
In comparison to the plays we talking about.
True. But if you ever been laying on the floor and somebody
no,
step
it's
on
bad.
you,
I'm saying-
there's no give.
Yeah,
That
right.
shit
Floor.
is
It's
bad.
the floor.
You're like, the floor is like,
Right,
mother-
but Mike Tyson's
I'm-
bite has to be the worst.
Right.
I was at that
That's
fight.
way worse.
That was-
The Dennis
that was-
Rodman kicking the nuts is just as up there though. Dennis
He
Rodman?
accidentally hit the photographer.
Yeah, he kicked the
yeah, he
photographer.
was on the floor, and he-
Yeah, remember
Yeah, but
that?
you know what, Hatch?
Yeah,
It
that was
it
bad.
didn't hit him in the nuts,
didn't.
and he wasn't kicking at. He was kicking at the camera.
Sure he was. That's the same thing.
I know,
It's
right?
the same
But
thing, bro.
it didn't. No,
It's the same. Sure.
It never kicked
Richie
in
was-
the nuts.
Richie was Rob's PR.
He kicked.
Richie was a PR person.
It
He was
did.
for the Bulls.
It went here.
It didn't kick him in the nuts.
No, he didn't.
Shout out
It
to his
kicks him
finest.
in the thigh.
Yes.
And the photographer got a payday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
He was the PR person for the Bulls, 95. So
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
96 and 97.
there you go.
Hey, let's move on to
I
this
got you, I got you.
this success level right here that y'all are so stupid. I'll be hearing all this shit. Anthony Mackie, the homie, Terry's dog, Captain America, as we know him of late, said that success is given, not earned. I was like, damn, that's a bar. Now we got to dive into this bar. We got to go sit down and have a drink or two.
I don't even understand it.
Well, let me give you the context. He's basically saying, look, and you got to understand he's an actor, so it's a different
coming from an
level
entertainment.
of meritocracy. Like there are levels. There's no meritocracy in this world, nowhere. LeBron proved that nepotism can affect all. The thing is, he's saying that you can be qualified and do everything you need to do and still not get it, and then somebody else can get it. And so success is given to that person amongst a list of qualified candidates, but it's not necessarily earned. So
No.
But that misses a critical element, though.
that's the discussion.
And the critical element in there is what the people who are paying for this and creating this are looking for. So you might be a better actor than Bucky, but Bucky may have the exact look that I want. He may have a Q rating that I want that beats yours.
Right.
You know what I mean? He may have more Instagram followers that I want that beats yours.
You might be
there's-
the right
so
height.
there's
It could be anything.
It could be anything. And in acting, in the acting world, I've worked in it long enough to know it is all of that stuff. Just like the best singer in the world doesn't sell the most records.
Right.
There's so much more to being a star
Facts.
than being able to act.
So what about the world at large? Let's extract, because if you stay in the acting world, I could get it. There's kingmakers, and in a lot of industries, there
And music.
that happens.
And music.
and music. Yeah, I'm about to say a lot of industries that happens, but not all. So to give credence to what he's saying, could there be worlds where success is given? not
Here's
earned?
the problem with where he said it. He said it with other NFL players.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it as, hell no. We've earned to be on the field, right? More hours, more weight room, more all of, right, eating right for 10 years, all those things, right? But from your perspective and our perspective in the entertainment industry, Absolutely, right? Because there's a bunch of reasons that people go up the ladder for sleeping with whoever, or aunts and uncles gave them the lead. All those things happen every single day. But in sports, I can't agree with that conversation, because I can't say that Michael Jordan didn't outwork everybody. I can't say Kobe Bryant didn't outwork everybody. I can't say the reason I made it is because my work ethic. I'll never say, well, it was given to me. No, I'll never say that.
But did they give someone a chance? And you've seen this. Like, let's just start with Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Like, they both earned a certain level where they were both considered the #1 overall.
Yep.
But you have to make a decision, and you gave it to somebody where they seemed like they thought it was a tie.
Chose, not given. They chose.
They chose. Okay, that's a great way of saying
it.
it.
That's why I don't agree with that, because the second part of his statement was, well, that's why these kids we're lying to our kids if we're really telling them that they can have anything. Like, you can if you work at it. Well, they're just going to give it to somebody else, even though you work as hard.
That's the part I didn't agree with.
Right.
Because that, like, in one.
First of all, I'm sorry. Hatch, you do prepare. You knew the second part of the statement. I love that. That's my dog. I see that. I knew it. Came through.
I actually just saw that yesterday, and I thought it was quite interesting, because I actually love Anthony Mackie, met him a bunch of times, but I disagree with that, because I think for him to say you're lying to your kids, that is given, that's a setup for you have to work for it. Even if you are going to give it to them, or it's a way that they're going to get it, you still want to teach them that they got to work for it.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
But are you lying to them?
No. Because you got to work for something. You got to have some kind of work ethic. I'm not giving you anything if you can't work.
Yes.
Period. Like, if you can't, if I can give you something, if LeBron gave Bronny James he put him on the Lakers, but he's not going to work. He's not going to practice. He just want to play the video game. I'm not giving that to you. Yeah.
Because at the
no
end,
matter who you are,
at the end of the day, it's what you become throughout the process, not what you acquire at the end. So if you're going to tell a kid you don't have to work for it, and they don't work for it, then they're not becoming anything anyway.
They're not going to have any kind of work ethic in life, no matter what they want to do.
Thank you.
That's just the way I look at it is like this. You can give a kid an opportunity in high school, middle school. Like me and Marcellus have boys, and I battle with this a lot because I coach them. It's like you can give him a position. You can give him a spot in that batting lineup, right? But whenever he goes to high school and I'm not coaching, what's going to happen? He's going to expect something to be given, and it's not going to happen for him. He's just not going to know how to work. So that kid that didn't have anything given to him, that they're competing for the same spots on these rosters. There's 25 guys on the baseball team, only 9 bat.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, if I gave him a spot all of his life, he doesn't know how to compete. He doesn't know what competition looks like. So, like, it happens in high school. A lot of these guys are talented, like extra fast. They know how to make plays just because they're a great athlete. But when they get to college, they're playing against guys 3-4 years older, and they don't know how to compete for a position. Those guys end up in the transfer portal or end up back at home.
I think you're taking reality out of the equation when you say, "Hey, everything is given," because you're giving a built-in excuse for if you fail. And life is hard, and so you have to at least put out there that you have to earn it, and then you have to talk them through, hey, you can work hard, you can do everything, and it still may not go your way because life isn't fair. But when you say it's given and not earned, to me, I just think you're sending a bad message to the kids. And so his take on it is just so odd to me, because I would never
Let me give him, because I got to be his public defendant. I think what he's saying, and I'm going to give you the best story that brought this home for me when I was with the Buffalo Bills, our special teams coach. He's saying amongst qualified individuals, there gets to this point where it's like we've all got A+. We all got the 4.4 GPA. It's like I've been in the missions. I remember going to Columbia missions and watching her deny. I said, damn, all those people that bad students? She's like, no, they're perfect. That's the problem. They're perfect. She was like, I need somebody who has a little mix, a little difference, right, et cetera. I was like, damn. But let me give it to you like the special teams coach told us. He said, look, none of y'all want to be here. And I was like, damn, he reading me. Because everybody want to be a starter, right? Offense and defense. You don't want to be at special teams. He's like, none of y'all want to be here, but let me just tell you how you guys are going to really make it. He's like, on special teams, we got a different mentality. He says, I want you guys to go 100% for one reason. If you go 100%, you got a chance to block a kick.
Yep.
But if you don't go 100%, you have no chance of ever blocking a kick. And when he said that, I took that as a life lesson. I was like, damn. He basically saying, go 100 and good luck.
Yeah.
Not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
Good luck. But if you don't go 100, luck ain't gonna matter.
Yep.
You ain't gonna get none of that.
Yep.
And that's the life lesson I took from that. And I think Mackie was trying to hit on that same point.
I think the foundation for all this is hard work, 10,000 hours of hard work and preparation. There's no blueprint for success. I can't tell you which road to take.
10,000 hours is the success, though.
Well,
It's
I
not what you
mean, we
get
have to
from
define
it.
what success is, because like if you
Yeah, that's a lie.
If
I work my ass off and got nothing to show for it, I ain't won.
Yes, you did.
But
No, I
because
didn't.
of what you got while you were working. That's what you won.
No.
Yes.
No. I may have pride. I may have satisfaction, fulfillment. I can have a lot of things, but the scoreboard of winning, I did it for a result.
But you're winning, though.
cannot do it for
but
results.
so the difference is you're results oriented, where he's talking about being process oriented,
Right.
And so like the victory comes from if you trust the process, and if you are naturally optimistic, you're saying it didn't work out this time, but if I keep working, eventually I'll be rewarded.
Yes.
It's an ideal. It doesn't mean that it's factual, but you're telling your kids if you keep working, eventually it's going to turn out for the better.
Well, I have the same mindset. I don't quit after my losses. Don't get that twisted. The destination, though, is going to tell me if my work was going to be worth all of that. Because why am I doing it if I don't want anything from it?
It doesn't matter what you acquire. It matters about who you become and trying to acquire.
Well, that's what you're acquiring. You're acquiring different attributes and traits.
You're going to get all of those things before you get to the top of the mountain. You think it's about reaching the top of the mountain.
I think you think the top of the mountain is just money. It sounds like that, and I don't mean that.
Yeah, you're right. I don't mean that. I don't mean that
I just meant like I
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yep,
I want to be a teacher. If I don't become a teacher and I went to all this school and did all this study and I just like I'm smart,
All these student
you
loans.
ain't no teacher.
Here's the thing that we missing though, because everything that has been said here is right, which leads to my statement of two things can be true. It's
He said it like we gonna go.
No, I'm leading. I'm leading to it. No, I'm leading to it.
I'm like, I'm waiting.
No, I'm leading to it. Two things can be true. Yes, I think majority of things are earned, but we all know situations where success is given. It just depends on the scenario. So there's no wrong answer here.
But give me a success.
Here, I'll give it.
There's literally no wrong answer.
Well, give me an example that success was given.
Here, this is what he
said.
No, this is hold on. This is what he's saying.
That's not true.
Because this is what he's saying though. He's saying from the entertainment. Yes, is what I'm saying. He's saying from the entertainment perspective. If it's Superman, right? Superman's gonna be the next movie, and we have 5 people to choose from. Those 5 people have done enough to be warranted and audition for Superman. Sure. We know whoever's in Superman is going to be a world star. It doesn't matter. We're saying because we give this one person this opportunity that we're giving it to him.
Yeah.
But he still earned it because all of these independent films he did. And So it's coming from an entertainment. It's not coming from a sports perspective.
You wouldn't even be in the room if you didn't earn it.
Come on.
Like that's why I laugh when people are always like, oh, I met so-and-so, I'm so lucky. I was like, no. Your ass been putting in the work to even get in there.
Yes.
Your association, the reflection of who you are and what your ambitions are, brought those people around you so that now all of a sudden it going to look like they gave you something, but you've been earning it.
So do we not live in a world where let's say a CEO can give his son the next level position?
They do it all the time.
Just because it's his son?
Yeah. They
It
do
doesn't
it all
mean
the
he
time.
earned it. But that's my son. I'm looking out for him. I'm putting it. That happens.
But it's a setup. It's a setup for failure.
But that's
because
not. But that's not the question.
If his son didn't
But that's
work
not
for that, it happens.
I get you, but that exactly.
No.
He's saying success is given.
Yeah, but you gave him something that if he doesn't keep, then it wasn't successful.
Exactly.
Like he has
So
to
he has to have something that
sustain
holds on
it.
to
He
it.
has to be
Okay,
able
but
to.
you just said when Hatch made his point about you put the 10,000.
Don't be mad because he agreed with me.
No, because he disagreed with you.
Yeah, I'm
When you said the 10,000 hours, you're like, oh, that's the success. And he's like, no, there has to be points on the board. Well, him getting that position or whatever, being there, having that title could be the success, because there's a lot of people working in the company to get said title.
Yeah.
So now if the dad comes in and goes, all right, son, just because you're my son, I'm gonna give you this position.
Right.
That's the success. He didn't earn it.
The earning, I think we got to
qualified.
I think you're
Everybody
loosely,
that has a position is qualified for it.
I'm not saying everybody, but what I'm saying,
But I'm talking about those that are not.
For example, CHICK-FIL-A, for example, the founders true at Kathy.
On Woodland Hills
the last two CEOs where like one was his son, and the one after that was the current CEO, Andrew Kathy. He's the son of the previous CEO, but he had to do a lot in order to qualify for that position. They didn't just, hey, you know what, you just come off the golf course and here it is. Right. He had to work. He had to develop himself. He had to go and work with Coca-Cola, work for all these other businesses, and kind of learn best practices before he's able to step in and lead $1 billion organization.
Right.
But
so
I'm
you
not
still have to
debating
have
that. We know that exists. We know that happens. I'm talking about the situations where that's not the case.
So what is that case? I don't know that case.
Give me an example.
Because every time someone says that, I say, give me an example.
They
And
can't.
I'm like,
Well, we're speaking on hypotheticals.
As soon as I know that kid, like it happened
show
with the
'em to you.
Chargers and the Spanos family.
Yes.
Dog,
Yes.
AJ and them dudes was in the mailroom and picking up our
That's right,
cleats.
because
and
once
now
you
they
call was
running the
working
thing.
on the road. Yeah, because they did set those guys up. Typically, we talk about nepotism. It's not like we just pull the kid from out of nowhere. And
He's
then
not a
make him
crackhead.
at the top.
Right? He's somebody who can actually maybe do the job in 10 years.
And been putting in the work, because a lot of time the challenge is, show me you want this, I'll give it to you. Like I'm not lying, and I'm sure it exists. I don't know the example of someone was just given something and mommy and daddy didn't see that you wanted it. Like I want people to beat it up in the comments. No, everyone says it's not true, and I said, well then tell me. The guy who just was like, I'm not even going to college, daddy. I don't even care about money. Oh, I'm about to run J.P. Morgan. Cool. And
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
People say my father wanted me to take over this job. I did it because he wanted me to do it. I didn't want that for myself. And at a certain point, they leave. That happens.
But I'm not going to give you the keys if I know you're going to crash the car.
Right.
But that's a different point. The
Yeah,
point
it's
is
kinda
that
the same.
he gave. No, it's not, because you're
I'm
talking
with
about
that
what
point.
happens after he got it. My point is, you
But
getting
what
it,
example?
getting it.
Like, give me a public example.
Well, you didn't give me an
So-
example to that either. We're talking about
I would
just
say,
generic
'cause
situations.
I got confronted. So Norv Turner's son, Scott Turner, was the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders or whatever. I said something on TV about nepotism running rampant in the NFL. Like there are a bunch of sons and
nephews and nieces.
son-in-laws and father-in-laws or whatever that have jobs. And so he came to me and was like, yo, that was disrespectful that you said that. And he was
LeBron
like,
style, huh?
like,
Fuck that shit.
yeah, and a boy, and I was like, hold on, homie. You, but he was saying like, you don't understand how hard I had to work to get the opportunity. Yeah. And what I was telling him is like, yeah, you had to work hard, but you were given the opportunity because you had people that could grant you the opportunity. So in saying, I had to step back and be like, okay, I understand what you're saying. He was saying, look, I had to put a lot of work in. It's not like I can just make my son the offensive coordinator just because he's my son. Because everyone else is looking around like, hold on, man, your son doesn't know how to do. He may not be good, but that opportunity has to at least look like he's earned some of that stuff or it looks crazy.
Yeah, I'm not challenging you. I'm challenging that narrative that we just handed. Like, what I am a big believer in nepotism. I'm Old Testament. Like, my last name mean a lot. Like, I'm giving all y'all. I don't give a fuck if y'all crash the car. I'm buying the car still. You know what I mean?
I'll buy you another
for my
one.
kids. But at the same time, I know where to put it. I know which
Where to
car
put
to
him,
give
where
them.
to set him up for success.
Where to set them up for success. I know how their personalities are. Oh, where to put it. But the point is, I'm serious, and I want to hold us to the fire. We got countless examples of, I was with Norv Turner in San Diego, and then the whole family there, and I'm like, damn, and then you look up, they all coordinators.
Think about Marty. All the Schottenheimers.
He was there. Brian
his
was
brother, like Kurt was there, like the
Jim
whole
Buss,
family.
Jeannie Buss.
Everybody.
Like,
everybody,
right, yeah, Jesse
everybody.
the homie. And I see them all set up, but I'm like, okay, where's the flip examples? Like, oh, he didn't want none of this. And some would say the Buss family maybe, because I knew they were gonna go Jim Buss. I knew they were gonna say, because he was like a gambler.
And
horse.
he was terrible at it.
He didn't want it. But he didn't want.
I said people get a position.
It was Jim.
Well, look,
But there's always
everybody's gonna be good
There's
and
a
bad
Lakers
at it.
job. He got the soccer league or whatever. He didn't get the
He
Lakers.
was running the Lakers for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Jim Buss?
I'm talking Jim was in the organization,
He was
but
doing scout.
But let's
saying,
not.
it wasn't Jeannie's job.
No, she was set up to be the head of basketball. Right. Basketball, right? In
She
business.
was set up to be the governor.
Yeah, the governor. But let's say this. All I'm saying is, even setting up gym bus, he failed. Let's not use failure as the measurement of, well, you shouldn't have got it in the first place, because people who go to school, get PhDs, still fail at high level positions. So I'm still looking for, like, Jim's a smart guy. Like, Jesse and them, they Rain Man. Like, dog, they on some others. He can remember everything you say, and numbers and movements and the analytics. Yeah, you know, I know basketball.
I think Jim was the exception because Jim wasn't a basketball guy like Jesse and Jeannie and the rest of them, and he didn't want to be. But supposedly Jerry wanted him to do it and thought he would take to it after a while.
So like lead him to it
for the position. Because it sounds like he got it because it was his father.
We might have our example.
You know, if
sounds like you're saying what I've been saying.
Here's the biggest thing in all of this.
No.
That might be the example.
Well,
skipped over my.
No, I'm saying, was he qualified? He was qualified because it was his father's business. So
I'll give you an example.
That means he can do whatever.
I'll give you an example.
He wasn't good at it.
What I said.
Yes.
Somebody
He didn't have basketball skills.
I don't know about that one.
I'll give you another example.
That's why I said Jim Buss.
So
That's why I say Jim Buss.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example of, again, why we see the finished version of a 25-year-old getting the job, and us judging the character and saying they shouldn't have it. I went to, guys, Kenny Richter, right, owns Wheels Up. Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go take a meeting with Kenny. We're in the office for like 2 hours. We take a break. Little 12, 13-year-old girl over there. She stays in. Everybody else leaves. I'm like, hey, you're here daddy-daughter day type of thing, skip school, whatever. She's like, no, I'm here taking notes. I'm like, okay, so you're 12, 13 now. So when you get this CEO job at 25, everybody's going to be like, oh, she shouldn't have this.
Yeah.
This girl was taking notes at 12. What you talking about? You see what I'm saying? So it's like things are happening behind the scenes that nobody sees. So some of those people are warranted these type of awards.
I'm so glad you highlighted that, because a lot of times when they talk about, remember the black coach conversation, and this was not fancy to say, but I used to say, like, look, dog, I'm not going to lie to y'all, just generalizing, I don't know too many brothers that when they young in the league, it's like, I'm about to stop my career or get in that coaching line, because that means you got to say bye-bye to playing, right?
There you go.
And I used to see, I'm not going to lie, it used to be like white player after white player, be like, man, I'm done. I'm like, why you done? You ain't going to try and work out this offseason?
I'm going into coaching.
Going into coaching. And they used to say it so explicitly. And this is not to say all, but it's to say, when we say where were the pool of black candidates, I said it was always going to be smaller because we didn't choose to do that off-color, nondescript internship.
Yeah,
like we just
for free.
And boy, don't get me started on GEs. Is that what they call them? GAs? GAs. Oh,
yeah, graduate assistants.
I was like, dog, you want to be a coach? You got to be a GA. Shit, I
ain't doing that.
I was like, oh.
Then so you don't want to do it.
It wasn't the nicest thing to say to generalize our group, but I used to see that all the time. And then, now we Marshall Falk is now the coach at
Colorado. Yeah,
like we getting those opportunities because who running it?
Because different lanes opened up in terms of like non-traditional ways to get jobs, and particularly in coaching. When we talk about coaching, like because there was a stigma and a bias for a long time against former players, because players are always viewed as coddled, spoiled, you won't go do it. And so now when you go get the GA job, the first thing they do to test you is like, yeah, bro, I need you to go get me coffee, make these copies, and I want my donuts with whatever. and you have to make a decision. Bro, I'm not getting you no damn donuts. Like,
then you don't want this job.
But then you don't want to think. It's very much like, I would assume, like your pledging process, like you got to humble yourself so you can get to the other side. Are you willing to show enough humility to do those things so you can get to what it is that you want to do? And so that's what all of it is. And so when we talk about the nepotism situation or given and earn, sometimes with your kids, you do little things to see, I can give him that, but I got to give him something else. Like you can be the CEO, but you can be the CFO or whatever it is. We got to put them in a lane for success.
You're a little badass. No. But I tell my kids all the time, like the thing that I always set them up with is like do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. So when you walk in this house, if those shoes don't go straight into that closet, when you want some Funyuns, nah, you didn't do what you needed to do.
We get Funyuns.
Oh, we get Funyuns around. My wife hates me. I won the nationals in track eating Funyuns. I'm giving my kids Funyuns. Something in them. Something in them.
Did you win because of them or in spite of them?
In spite of. Imagine what you could have done. What you could have done if you didn't have the Funyuns clogging up your system.
You've been all right.
The reward. Dog. Transformers, music tapes, and Funyuns, Cheetos, all that. I'll run through a wall, mama. Like whatever you need, mama. I gotta do it. Like kids gotta have their own like credit system. No,
it's co-sign it. That's almost like the Welch's grape and a honey bun.
Oh yes.
At the barbershop.
Yes. Honey buns got crack in them. Honey buns got crack in them. Absolutely.
Honey bun every day.
Every day. Every day. Every day.
10 seconds.
And I bet you what, real slow.
Microwave that thing.
And in New York, we had the little quarter waters. I don't know if they had that here.
Yeah.
25 cents.
Have you ever seen the sugar content of a honey bun? I think it's 60.
No,
It's 90. It's 99 and a half. That's what it is.
Oh shit!
It is crack.
We'd all die right now having a honey bun.
Oh, you leave it out, it's a brick. You got 5 minutes. That shit is a brick.
As soon as you open that wrapper.
Soon you open that wrapper, you better eat that thing. What about the little black donuts? Remember y'all see them? With the little tan, little fat boy shit right now. I'm on my fat boy right now.
I don't know about that.
Oh, the little black donuts.
Hey, that's
Them
how you
little
know
fake Krispy Kremes. I mean, them shits. And then they had the white ones. You be all cracked out. And then they had them brown ones with them crumbs on it.
You on your own on that one. You on your own.
That's why y'all didn't run fast, because y'all was eating right. You gotta have some fat. You gotta have all right.
That's a West Coast treat.
That is right.
That one
I can keep going. I know all the bad snacks.
You know all the new
Strawberry
snacks.
shortcakes.
Strawberry shortcake. They got about
You don't know zebra cake. You don't know zebra cakes.
Oh, see,
You know the zebra cakes?
I'm a Little Debbie's guy. So
Little
like,
Debbie's, yeah,
Little
the
Debbie's.
zebra
So
cakes.
the first thing you have in the pantry.
The ho-hos.
All of those.
You got what?
Ho-hos.
Okay.
Little ho-hos.
What about sugar wafers?
Anybody
eat sugar wafers?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I used to love sugar wafers too. You don't
Like
remember
those?
those?
Little vanilla wafers with the little
I don't gotta have
They
that.
came in strawberry too. You
Oh,
can get
come
it.
on. Come on. I eat a Nutter Butter and
The
go
nutty-
to bed.
Nutty
Buddies.
Buddies. Ours was Nutty Buddies.
Smoke a Nutter Butter on your head.
Pause, B.
Hey, okay, all of this is how we're going to wrap the show then, because this is finally we're going to get into my mama conversation, because these snacks are taking me back to childhood, so let's keep the nostalgia going. I just celebrated my mother's 20th Angel Day, which is something my sister put together. My sister really celebrates my mom's life by going to the cemetery, always honoring her, always coming up with celebrations and such. I'm different. I act like my mom's not dead. I act like I'm on a 20-year trip where I got to play games and you're not coming to see me yet. So I act like she ain't gone, and I will always do that until I'm gone, and then I'm like, there it is. But I want to talk about how we deal with and process death, and I know this, and who you've lost closest to you that made you have to go through that process. So I know Daz just recently, unfortunately, lost your father months ago, yeah?
Yeah, man. So it's obviously, grief is one of those things that I just heard it the other day. It's like it's a disease. It's a lifelong disease that you get. When you get it, you got it for life. Mm-hmm. And that means it's not going anywhere. So my life, I've always had my life planned out, right? I always knew how my journey was going to go. I knew who was going to get there. I lost my mom and my dad in the last 2 years.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
So it's been one of those journeys where I literally just explained it the other day. It was like somebody grabbed me by my ankles, flipped me upside down, shook all the shit out my pockets, and then flipped me back upside right, and then told me to walk, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I'll tell you about grief, though, and how I got through it is my kids. My kids, man, the day after my mom died, I think it was, my son runs in the room. I'm in the bed, literally, leg curled up, fetal position, and my son runs in the room, and he's like, Daddy, like, can you make me some Cheerios? And I'm like, damn, Like, all right, let me get up and get these Cheerios for my son because I still got to be dad, but I really want to crawl under the bed. But it also put in perspective that I got to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I have to keep going for them. But then also, you have to teach your kids how to deal with grief. And they're going to watch how you deal with it.
Preach.
So I read books about it. How do I talk to my kids about it? How do I understand it? And it's still a process, right? You go through it. I mean, literally just 2 days ago, Kennedy's like, Daddy, can you play Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars? And I'm like, I don't think I can. And she's like, why? I'm like, that was Grandma's favorite song. And I'm like, I am. So the next day, Jasmine tells me when she's taking him to school, Kennedy says, hey, Mommy, can you play Bruno Mars? I just want to think about Grandma for a second.
Come on, man.
And my son says, if Daddy were here, he would probably be crying.
Yeah.
So Jazz telling me this, and she's like, we all processing it at the same time, like, how do you deal with death with kids and young kids and how they process it. But it's a journey, man, and I think if you have kids, that truly helps you get through it, because if not, then it's almost like, especially at a young age, my parents were young. I lost both 69, both of them were. And they both died, a year after each other. Both were bills of health their entire life. They both ended up catching cancer, and they both rapidly died quickly. So there was something I never thought I had to deal with, or would not I didn't have to deal with it, but I didn't think I would have to deal with it as soon, as fast. And, kind of proud of myself for how I deal with it, but I don't think it stops, man. I think you deal with it every single day, dude. And, I think talking about it helps. I think having these conversations helps.
Yeah.
But grief is a real thing, man.
I think ignoring it helps me. And it's sad because I know that's probably not the healthiest way. But, like they say with temptation, the best way to deal with it is avoid it, And I actually avoid the whole process of, my mom's gone. But the circle of life, it's so funny you say that. Songs, like the circle of life from Lion King. And I was looking for it while you were talking because I play this song to wake up the house every day. So I put it on, the ring, yeah. Every morning, that's their alarm. And when it goes to the end, circle of life, boom. MJ has to be in my hands, and I'm holding him up like he's Simba, right? Yeah. So we're doing that literally every day. But the lyric that really hits me is when they say, there's more to do that can ever be done. There's more to see that can ever be seen. And so I lost my mom at 49. So, man, I wish I had 20 more years to get to 69, But I look at it, these kids, I swear, man, it's just like how this world's ecosystem continues to feed itself and it all is connected. You lose to gain, and then the appreciation you have for your kids and your family and what you've created is the same thing they gave to you. And you helped them deal with their grief of losing their mother and their father. But who wants to feel that and who wants to think through that?
It's a club you don't ever want to be a part of.
Hell nah.
And there's different kinds of grief too, right? So I lost my father at 90. So that's different.
How old was your dad? I'm sorry. And also, hey, your ass said they hung you up by your ankles. I said, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute.
I was going to say that joke, but I knew it wasn't appropriate.
Dog, I was waiting for my moment. I was like, it's sitting there. I'm so sorry.
Now I know.
I'm sorry, dog. Pops was 90. I'm sorry.
Right. So, and that's a lot different than 49 or even 69, right? I mean, my father lived his whole full entire life, right? So you're sad that he's gone, and it's a selfish reason because you want your father around and you want him to keep imparting knowledge and you want to see him and all that. But he lived his whole life.
Damn.
So it's a different sadness, I think. Yeah. Plus, it gives you more years on your side of the ledger to understand it all. But I lost my oldest friend in the whole world 2 years later from cancer. And then last year I lost my brother-in-law to diabetes, like just drop dead, gone.
Really?
In a 4-day period, like 28th of December, passed away on the 1st.
What I'll say too,
and that's different.
Yeah, what I'll say too, and I've said it to multiple friends, like one, we're in a generation of like that kind of bridge generation, right? We're taking care of our parents, we're taking care of our kids, right? The sandwich generation.
Bucky, are you trying to leave? You got a 1 o'clock? You got to talk about you got to deal with your death, man. You got to deal with it. It's okay. You can leave, but I know you're avoiding this. We're going to talk about it. Oh.
So what I'll say to that though, Bucky, what I'll say to that is while they're here, make sure you ask them every question of everything you wanted to ever ask them in life. Because once they're gone, you don't get that, right? And one thing I'll say to that too is that, you know, one thing I can say about my mom and my dad, like we lived life, we traveled, they seen all me, they were super proud. Like I know that I don't have like I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have said this, I wish I would have asked them that question. I don't have that because I did everything and asked them everything and talked about it and like had all of those conversations. So I can be at peace with them passing. I miss them, but I'm also like, all right, well, like life goes on, right?
So it's one of the things that you think about, but you try not to think about. So my dad is, if I'm 54, my dad is 76. Yeah. So I talk to my dad 2-3 times a day. So on the way here, he's like, yo, what's going on? I'll say, oh, I'm about to shoot a pod with the fellas. Now, he's watching the Carolina basketball game. So we've always connected because part of my love for Carolina came from my dad loving Carolina basketball. And so it became kind of like the family dream to go there. So we always share those things. And so the thing that I find myself doing is saving like voicemails and little things or whatever, like not in a weird way, but like I know not that we're best friends, but like that's my dude. So when I'm coaching games, he'll look at the game on like whatever, a streaming service. I go to halftime and he's blowing me up on text like, what are y'all doing? They're not running to the ball. And so I know what that is. And so I don't look forward to it. But so we have these weird conversations like, hey, man, have y'all got irrevocable trust? Have you set up little things for like whatever? Because my mom is like a breast cancer survivor. She has lupus and all this. But yet they continue to trudge on. So it's not one of the things that I'm looking forward to because I've been around people that have lost parents. And it's one of those things where like you don't know what to say. And so you say like, I pray for you, but I don't know. But they all share like the same thing. Like the loss is one of those that you don't really recover from because it's lifelong. And so my dad says like, hey, we'll continue to exist in the whispers that you hear late at night. Yes. Or the thoughts that come. Like I'll always talk to you in a weird way because if you're spiritual, you're like, it'll show up. So don't think about it because he talked about his mom or my grandma. Like grandma is always talking to me. Grandma's always praying for you or those things. So it's one of those things that I would probably be more like Marcellus to try and ignore like I'm on a long trip and it'll be whatever. Because to think about it is like
20 years long trip. I got a question for you probably more. Because my dad is turning 78 next month. Thank you, Bucky. Appreciate that, man. You need a coach better, too. You leave your daddy alone, man. Your daddy trying to watch his soap operas. What are you doing? Can you call a play that works? My dad turning 78, and it ain't a day that goes by where I'm not thinking he's about to die. And it's so weird. And I even asked him one time, like a month ago. He was like, he's like, I don't really think about it, but hey, I'm not getting younger. I hear you. And he wanted to move off it. And I was like, damn, I shouldn't have asked. But, like, I don't think it is. If he gets to 90, I'm still going to be, it's going to be worse then than it is now. Like, it sounded like you prepared yourself or you just, when it happened, you were like, I was prepared.
Yeah, I sort of did because I saw my father sliding. Oh, okay. And I saw it a few years before and I kind of anticipated it. I was like, because, you know, he was born in 1930, and so you start thinking lifespan, and, you know, you start to see a slide. My parents were already damn near the only ones left from their generation of people. You know what I mean? That's a lot of freaking years. So as I saw his memory sliding a little bit, and then more and more visits to the doctor's office, to the doctor, this, you know it's inevitable at that point. So so you know, I'm also a photographer, so I started taking more pictures. Yeah. I started telling my girls and my nieces and whoever, you know, get around Papa, get around, you know. Right. So I started preparing for it. And, unfortunately he got really sick during the beginning of COVID, and you couldn't really travel because of the times they were saying you had to quarantine and isolate and all that stuff. It was real restrictive, but in my mind I saw it coming the whole way. I had conversations with him. I kind of made peace with it, and then when he got really sick, I was hoping for a quick resolution because I knew specifically from having conversations with my father, he didn't want to be laid up in a hospital bed, not being able to do stuff for himself. He literally said that to
People always say that, but I'm just here to say this. Let me have every second of this existence, and I don't think that's right. I think, like, because my grandmother died, I was in the hospital, and I saw her blood go from red to, like, a color that don't even exist. I was like, oh, they looked at me like, she gone. Can we say it?
But I'll tell you this, man. When you know your parents or know your loved one and you know who they are and how they are, if you see them not in that state, they don't want to be like that, and you don't want to see them like that.
God, I hear that, but I'm
gonna tell you this, Marcellus, man. Me and my mom. I don't know if you ever met my mom. You did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She was a life. She was the life of the party. She was turned up. She traveled. She did. Man, I went home to Michigan and I saw her laid up. And I literally turned to my siblings and I was like, she is gone. Like, this is the last time I'm going to see her. And she looked at me like, nigga, this ain't it. Like, seriously. Like, she looked at me like, this ain't, I don't want to live like this.
I get it.
You know what I mean? And in my head, I'm like, Ma, I get you. Like, go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's
go
okay.
ahead. Like, I know this ain't it. I know this ain't you.
But in the game of life, and just like a game, like you see me turn the corner, get a sack on Steve Young and buck the boat and do all that. You also see me laid out there like I don't know. Do you think they ever could be stuck in the level of conscious? Like I'm good. I just can't show you I'm good. Like, you don't think that exists? No, because I've seen some death.
If you can't show it, you ain't good.
No, when you sleep, a third of our life, we ain't showing jack, and I'm good. Like, you ever been here? I don't know where I went last night.
But listen, as a parent, man, they prepare you to understand that they're not gonna be here forever. Just like we got to prepare our kids to understand. Look, man, there's gonna be a day that I'm not here, and you have to keep going.
Yeah,
you have to keep going, because if you don't set somebody up like that, then you're setting them up for the kill. And I know people who lost their parent, they can't function. And I'm like, I could have been that way. You know what I'm saying? I truly could have been that way. But I'm like, my parents kind of they taught me how to deal with grief.
Yeah.
And
life happens.
That's right. I've always said to my girls, the only constant is change.
Yeah, that's real.
And that's for times like this, or times when you lose somebody, or times when it just really goes south, or something flips on you, because you gotta know that change is coming, and everybody's life is gonna change, and everybody's family foundation is gonna change, and everybody passes away, and it's whether you do it at 45 crossing the street or whether you do it at 90. And you gotta deal with it either way.
Golly, I hear you, man. What you got, John?
Yeah, we deal with this a lot with my wife and her audience. And her father just passed away last year. We brought her mom in to live with us. It's really preparing for it. I always had the mentality of I had somebody, best friend, 17, died when I was young. So I know what death is like, how you deal with it.
Yeah.
But what we typically see is they're looking down on you. They don't want you to be not happy. And I think what you're saying, Daz, about being prepared and preparing the generation for your death. Like if my kid's always calling me and is my best friend, and I'm going to potentially die, like I'm aging, well, wait, I need to wean him off of me. Who is he then going to, and who's going to be that person for him? And you have to start having that conversation, because if you're so dependent on someone, and I see it with my mom and dad, my dad dies, what's my mom going to do? And that's when you have that dependency, it hurts you even more. But if you're prepared for it and you're not dependent, everyone's staying on their own, then it's not as hard, and you can think about good times. They're looking down on you. Okay, you're not hurting when you're still here, from not being able to do the things that they supported you on.
Yeah, that's an explanation that really clarifies why my sister is different. than me in terms of dealing with my mother's death, because my sister didn't lose just her mother like I did. She lost her buddy, because I was always on the move and traveling. And so it was always sporadic when I would see my mother in my adult life, no matter how long it was. It was like, I got to go to camp, or I got to go back there and film, whatever. And my sister was just grounded with her. So she lost her buddy to that point. But I grew up, like you, I lost my best friend when I was 11. So one day I'm just telling them, all right, hurry back from school and we're gonna ride our bikes. And I had the bike that you get from the local store, and it was a Huffy, and he had a mongoose, so it used to make noise. And you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, we live in the same building. Like, she over there slanging. You know what I'm saying? So he had a fresh bike, and then he always get home at 4 o'clock, and it's 4:05, 4:10, 4:15. I'm looking at the clock, old school. I'm like, he ain't gonna come home. Then they told me he got hit by a car. Immediately you thinking, all right, he got hit by a car. All right, he all right. Where is he? And they were like, nah, he in the hospital. I'm like, dang. All right, go to the hospital. Then this is what really, I'm disconnected from pain, or I laugh at pain because of the trauma of this. So I get to the hospital and they're like, he's in there. And I was like, okay, I want to see him. It's like, you're not his family. And I'm like, okay, so can I still go? And they're like, no, only family. I was like, damn. So he's my best friend. I'm closer than people I see walking by here that he don't even connect with. They his cousins though. That's his uncle. He don't talk to him. He talk to me every day. So I'm sitting there like, damn. And then finally a doctor saw me and he was like, come here. He's like, I'm gonna show you your best friend. Just come over here. So we walked to the side, and this is at Daniel Freeman Hospital in Inglewood. So he's like, I'm gonna show you your friend. And he's like, just stay right here. And then he comes out, wheeled out. And they were taking him to a helicopter to take him to Children's Hospital. And I was like, and I remember like yesterday, I was looking, and all I saw was white sheet and then red, like a big red circle around his head. He still was alive. And I was like, wow. And I was like, he just took off in the helicopter. And then I wake up the next morning, go home and all this stuff, and I still couldn't see him. And I was like, all right, we'll go to Children's Hospital, I can see him. I had a track meet. And I go to the track meet, I'm trying to act normal, run my normal races, do all my stuff I actually thought I was. And then finally, I'm leaving there and we're going to our grandmother's house. And someone told me, like, oh, Corby died. And I was like, and the toughest part was, the last time I saw him, the last time was just him willing, like no goodbye, no firm shake, no look in the eye, no I see you later. It was just like, that was my last image of my best friend. And I was like, man. And from that point forward, I literally have always kept this much distance from any and everybody, because I'm like, I don't know if I see you again, right? And it was wild like that, man. Like, that's how that all played out.
And life is not promised, man. And people,
we say that, but
it's
do
not.
we,
But it's not.
do we
But it's,
understand
but it's
that?
not, man. Junior Bridgman just was speaking at an event.
Yeah.
He was just speaking.
Wait, Junior Bridgman died?
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
71 years old.
Yeah.
Speaking at an event, had a medical emergency at the event, and he died. So like, he was just talking, and got off stage and died. Nobody expected him to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So life is not promised, man. Angie Stone was at a show, got in a car and was driving to another show and got in a car accident and died. So like, these things are like, when you think about people, make that call. When you want to make that call, talk to them, like have those real conversations, because it just ain't promised, man. You don't know when it's going to be the last time or not. So you don't want to have that like, damn, I wish I would have said this to whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Last time I saw him, I wish I would have said this, because I've been meaning to say it to him, and I knew I was going to see him again next week, and I was going to say it next week when I saw him. It's like, no, dog, yo, man, I thought about you, bro. I wanted to call you real quick and just say what's up.
But that closure is the toughest thing to deal with, because, like, I've dealt with the deaths of a few people in my life, but when my mother died, the death I thought was the worst part, because I'm a mama's boy. And I was like, this is it. And you know what was worse than knowing my mother was dead? And this was a weird moment. We at the funeral, and then the pastor's like, all right, service is over. He was like, open casket, and everybody walked by, and you were last to walk by. And then he looked at me, and he was like, you can close it now. And I'm like, close what?
You can close it?
Me. And, you know, to close a casket doesn't take much strength. It just, you know, let it go, but don't let it slam. And I remember grabbing it, and then my brain is saying, close it. And my body's like, I ain't closing shit. And literally I was just there, like, and I was really trying to close it. I wasn't even trying to stage. I wasn't trying to be shy. I was like, close it. And I was like, nope. And then they finally closed it, and I was like, yo. I thought death was bad. I was like saying goodbye, like saying it, like doing it. I was like, hell no. So that's why I avoid it. Like, I'm like, nope, it ain't real. And it is real. And like my father and I were like, I want to talk to him 3 times a day like Bucky, but at the same time, like, I don't talk to nobody 3 times a day. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, but if I don't, then one day I'm gonna get the call. And it's like that seesaw right there. You know, how do you mend those?
It's a reality that you have to face. You can't like not act like it's not real, because I wouldn't, man, if you would have told me 4 years ago I'd have been able to sit here and talk to you about my mom dying. Yeah. Like, I'm like you, I got my mom tattooed on me twice.
Yeah.
Like, that was my girl. And my dad, I'm named after my dad. Like, that was my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both made me who I am, right? So I wouldn't have been able to tell you I'll have that, be able to be strong enough to have that conversation. But I also have to act like it's not. I can't act like it's not real, because it is. I ain't gonna ever see him again. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Like, it's real. It's real as it gets. Like, it's
you can't fake it till you make it.
You can't fake it. Like, it's real as it gets, Jack.
Right. And with my brother-in-law, he went to work out, came home, collapsed in the driveway, and no one ever got to talk to him again.
Yeah, that's
like literally. You know, and we were like brothers and best bud, you know, but he never got to talk to my sister again, never got to talk to his sons again, never talked to my niece again. It was just like instant gone and never recovered in a 4-day period over the holidays.
Yeah, that's just
that
unreal.
shit was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing crazier too when you walk into someone's home. Even my best friend, a little kid, like you just see his racing cars. You're like, he gone? And then, you know, you go to your mother and you see all these old pictures and scrapbooks. And you're like, she ain't gonna ever open them again? Like, it's just like it made me question like what life really is. I'll be like, dog, this ain't no rhyme or reason. Like, dog, we like ants. like, you know what I mean? Like ants feel, you can kill like, a little ant. Like, we just can, you can have this beautiful life and do all these perfect things and don't disavow, and you're not violating the 10 Commandments. And yeah, it's just pass on the driveway.
Absolutely.
It's just wild.
It's humbling, man.
I didn't deal with it well at all. Like, my best friend passed away in October of '96. He was 17. I was 18. I went to school in August of '96. So I couldn't get back to the funeral. It was before Priceline.com and all that stuff. So I held on to that and felt very guilty about not being able to at least go to my best friend's funeral. I would go back home and for 13 years, 14 years, drive by his house. Like you said, I didn't have enough balls to go knock on his parents' door to know he wasn't there, you know? I drove by there hoping that they would be outside doing the line, taking in groceries so I can have an excuse to go up there and say my piece, you know what I'm saying? But it took me 14 years to get over that. So I just didn't deal well with it all. And I think we should have had, looking back on it, I wish I would have had some kind of counseling or someone to talk to understand what grief was, because I didn't know what I was going through, you know, until years later. And I was talking to people, and it was like, no, that's grief. You probably should have saw somebody about that. I didn't think about that until around that time when somebody I knew had taken their own life. And I was like, oh, this is why you go to talk to people, because I'm a Pisces. I'm a artist. Like, I hold on to people, empath. I hold on to people. I take in people the best as I can. But to echo what you said too, after I lost my best friend, I could never. I had that much space left.
Yeah.
That I couldn't give.
You couldn't give.
I couldn't, because like that.
You ain't catching me vulnerable like that no more. Whatever
it
that
changes
is.
you, man. I've changed as a person. I've changed as a man. I've changed in how I move. I'm not the same. I'm not the same person that I was.
In a better way? Stronger way?
I
different
don't know.
way?
I'm in a way.
Yeah,
I've changed. Better or worse, I don't know. I may have some sympathy, less empathy. I don't know, but I've changed. I know that I'm a different person. I didn't talk to anybody. My first time ever talking to a counselor of any sort was when I lost my mind, because I knew I couldn't handle it. I'm like, I need somebody else. Like, I can't. There's no way I can take this on by myself. Sign me up for all the counseling because I need help in a real way. And you have to do that, man, because it's a process. It's an everyday process, bro. I think about my mom and my dad every single day. Every single day. We were just in Denver, and we were talking about it in some form or fashion. We were talking about it. Like, it came up in some form or fashion. Justin and I were like, I don't even know what it was, but I know we talked about it. And it just happens, man, every single day. And, like, as we get older, our parents get older, and they're going to pass away.
Oh, man, you ain't got to tell us. You can't watch TV. Big O yesterday, remember he died?
Man. Oliver Miller.
Miller.
Yeah.
You just watch the sports channel. And the thing is, it's not so much death. They always put up the montage of them, and then they put that still shot before they fade, and they put the dates. You're like, wait a minute. That's like my birthday. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. I was born that year. Or like, wait, you know what I mean? So it's getting, natural causes, not just, all the tragedies we've all dealt with. It's, I'm talking about natural causes. Cats is just dropping, right? And so my therapy, I think a lot of our therapy as we started this off, as we ended, is that circle of life. Like, I sleep with them kids, man. Like, I slept with my mom till I was 13, and one day she said, get your big ass up out the bed, right? You too big for this. And I was like, my kids, I'm looking forward to that day because I know I'm part of that cycle of the circle of life, but I love it. I love it. And I love everything about life. I really do. I love people that hate me. I don't give a fuck. That's your problem, not mine.
Clark.
One thing I don't like is that we got to end it. That's the only thing about life. I'm like, damn, this shit dope. Except it's gonna come to an end. And when I'm about to die, let me keep living, Daz. Do not put me out of my misery. I'm telling you, somewhere deep in here, I'm all right. If I'm still here, I'm lying. I don't know.
You say that, bro, but as big as you are and how you like to move and like. I'm serious, bro. Like, if I ever seen you and I'm like, you not talking shit and you like laying there and you like can't change
his diaper.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, dude, come on,
Daz.
Daz, get me out of here, bro.
Daz, that's third down. Give me one more play. We going for it on fourth. Come on, let me go get it. That'll do it for episode 17 on the Rocks. Hopefully, you guys hug your loved ones, man. As we all know, nothing profound there except the fact that it's pain and love in this world. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones. Appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Love.
Peace.
Yeah, man.